Hi VeFam, this is Mike with a recording of the December Project Leaders Space, hosted by none other than Connor, Cigtoshi Nakamoto and Ferg. This edition, the Foundation showed up as speakers, with Antonio, Senatore, Sarah and Jake. If you don't want to miss any information on VeChain, hit that subscribe button and like this video. Now take a seat, watch and enjoy this recording.
Let's go! VeChain, what is up? Happy holidays. I hope everybody is excited for today's space. I know I am. We have had 2 of these so far, and they have been incredible. We're going to try and keep them going every month, and we've got an agenda we're going to try and stick to. I'll go through that in a moment, but I have to give a huge shout out to the 30 different projects that are helping put this together. So bear with me while I go down the list. Huge shout out to the Bomber Squad, Division, Exoworlds, the Inca Empire, Kickback Koala, New Pigs Order, NFT Paper Project, No Nerds, Non-Fungible Book Club, Mad V Apes, Mino Mobs, Psycho Beasts, Safe Haven, Shamanic Oracles, Shark Gang, Smuzzies, Stoner Punks, UCO Network, Yukio Warriors, VFox Alliance, V-Punks, V-Corgi, VeFam Radio, VeKings, Venonymous, VC, Virtual Flame Studios, War Dogs, World of V, and last but not least, the incredible VeChain Foundation. So I'll give it a moment and let our speakers and co-hosts, say some words before we jump into the agenda here. Cigtoshi, Ferg, how are we doing today?
Doing good. Again, welcome everybody. I'm Cigtoshi Nakamoto, Leonidas23 in Discord. I am community team member at Mad V Apes, but also been doing a lot of cross-chain, cross-pollinating different communities and just getting the word out about VeChain and the awesome community that's built over here. So a little bit about me. Happy to be here. These spaces are awesome. Excited to hear about all that we've accomplished since the last one and some ideas and thoughts how we can continue to improve moving forward. Ferg, how we doing? There we go, Ferg.
Ferg, you're rugging to start off the space.
Here we go, baby. Let's go, Ferg.
You're rugging. Somebody had to do it, so at least you got it out of the way. I appreciate that it was you. Do we have you, Ferg? Hey, while we're waiting for you to get connected, Ferg, we'll hand it over to the foundation. VeChain, welcome to the space. How we doing? Do we have back-to-back ruggings?
Look, I think it's just me and you, Connor. How's your day? How's
Hold
your
on,
weekend?
it might just be us. We
yeah, feel free to throw it to me. My word.
I mean, Brad, I can hear you, man. How are we doing? Take it away.
Good. I'm doing good with my voice that you guys can hear, I think. Doing great on the VC dev team. So part of the team behind the VKings NFT collection that led to making the actual VC NFT marketplace.
Can you hear me?
Yep. That's my TLDR.
Welcome, Brad. Thank you for being the first voice we could hear outside of Cigtoshi and myself. Ferg, we got you back. I see we got you as a co-host.
Yeah, I think I'm here. I was clicking the unmute button and nothing. It was like unmuting and then remuting immediately. So, but yeah, no, I'm pumped. I'm ready to roll. I don't even know what the name of that song was, Sig, but I haven't heard that since, God, I don't even remember when. Since I was a little girl. But yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll.
It's definitely a banger. We love to hear some smooth to kick off the day. VeChain, what got you back?
Yeah, I'm Antonio here from the foundation, the CTO. Hi, everyone.
Antonio, welcome. I'm so happy you were able to join us today. We're really excited to have you, and I'm looking forward to a great discussion.
Thanks.
Anything that you have here before we jump into things?
No, not for now, guys. I want to see how the discussion evolves, and looking forward to it. All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Antonio.
Thank you.
We'll hand it over to G of World of V.
Hey, good evening, guys. Great to have the space again. Like you said, a lot of projects joining in, and I see the space is filling up, so excited for tonight.
Let's have some fun. Nero, anything you want to add here?
Hello, guys. I'm Nero, founder of Mad V Apes. Well, first of all, happy holidays to everybody. I know it's our last tourist space of the year. So I'm sure we're going to have a lot of fun. It's a pleasure to have Antonio and Sarah here, and the foundation, of course. So yeah, let's keep going, guys.
Nero, always great to have you. We'll toss it over to Yu-Gi-Oh! Warriors.
How's it going? This is co-founder Airworthy of Yu-Gi-Oh! Warriors and ANA Arts. Yeah, happy to be here. It's been an amazing year for VeChain. So yeah, I'm just glad to participate here.
As always, it is great to have you. Excited to join the discussion today. Vet Mike, anything that you want to add here, and then we'll hand it over to Division and Amphi Collection to round it out.
Yeah, honored to make my debut on this monthly spaces. Really honored to be amongst all this family in here. If I scroll down the list of people that are attending, I only see familiar faces here, new ones as well. So just honored to be here.
Well, thank you for everything that you've been doing. We'll definitely be talking about that here in a moment. But let's hand it over to Division and then Amphi Collection to round it out.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. This is Top Shelf representing Division. I'm here to vibe out with you guys, and hope everybody's doing good.
Top Shelf, welcome. Thank you for repping the team. Amphi, any words that you want to have to round it out here?
For sure. What's up, everyone? This is Jeff Perry, founder of VGnomes and VReapers. We just recently rebranded this page. This was formerly the VGnomes page, so you will see we are now Amphi Collective. But it's epic to see such a large turnout already in such a tight-knit community. So I'll leave it at that, and excited to see what the space has to offer today.
Well, we have a lot to cover. So a high-level overview of the agenda. We will jump right things here shortly, kicking off with our first topic, talking about onboarding resources for VeChain. And we're going to hit it off with a few core subjects in no particular order. Talking about some community messaging and material that's being made, talking about our friends StockTwits down there in the listeners. We'll probably bring them up for that. Talking about some other resources for onboarding new VeChain projects to the ecosystem. Then we'll head over to our second action item, talking about collaboration with the foundation. What could happen here with creating a VeChain project council among the community, and what would that look like in 2023? Also, how can we collaborate with more startup companies in the Web2 world, leveraging an ecosystem like Startup? And then we'll hand it off to the community to bring any questions or any topics that you want to talk about for at least an hour. And we'll close off the space with the second annual VeFam Awards, where we are going to be giving out prizes to our ecosystem's best platform, best project, best artist, best disruptive idea, and last but not least, personality of the year. So really excited to kick things off here. And I guess let's jump right into things. And let's talk about some onboarding resources for VeChain, because I think that's been a huge focus for a lot of members in this community and different teams when it comes to creating graphics, educational material, or just resources to bring to new users in. So, does anyone want to kick things off here and start the discussion, kind of talking about some of these onboarding resources?
Yeah, I guess I can just kind of jump in and maybe I think after our last space, I want to say that Mike, it was after the space, right, that you put out that video on I think it was the different wallets and like kind of how to navigate those wallets. Am I right, Mike?
Yeah, I've been looking into topics that I struggled with when I started to set up my wallets and diving into the VeChain ecosystem. And I just thought, okay, what would have helped me when I was still new to the ecosystem? And I just started to create a few videos, shared them with the community. And I'm really still like kind of a loss of words with how it was like received by the community. Like everyone loved it, liked it, got so much good feedback from everyone, and that got me into creating more and more videos. And just this week, I created this video about transferring an X node to another wallet. I mean, that shit is scary if you don't know how to do it properly. And there are a lot of written guides on it, but still a written guide is only words. Sometimes it's just better to see someone do it and then just copy it. So yeah, that's why why I started creating these YouTube videos, and I will keep doing those and continue with those because your support is giving me a lot of motivation.
Cigtoshi, jump right in.
Yeah, I think first of all, Ferg, I can't hear you for some reason, so we're gonna have some issues, but we'll work through it. But I heard what Vet Mike said, and I just want to double down and say the work you're putting out and those tools you're putting out are super helpful. Like I think us as an ecosystem to take another step forward, we need to have like uniform tools for onboarding people. Just stuff that you can grab and drop into people's DMs and they can just run with it from there. I put together like a very just brutal tweet with step-by-step instructions that I've been using to onboard people. It gets the job done, but unfortunately I can't edit it. And it tells people to use the VeChain Thor wallet, and Brad yells at me because he wants me to tell people to use the Sync 2 wallet. So unfortunately I'm still using that tweet to onboard people, but like I'm just telling them, hey, just gravitate towards Sync 2. So I hope you know that I'm trying, Brett. I'm trying, brother. But yeah, just like uniform tools make it easy to just copy paste and send people on their way is going to be super helpful for all of us.
Yeah, I think you said something really important there, and I know you said you can't hear me, but just having something that we can all go and just grab real quick. I think it's important maybe to have it on your notepad. Just copy and paste the links onto your notepad. You see someone or you're in a space or something, just boom, open up your notepad app. Have them labeled like wallet onboarding, or how to use World of V, how to use VC, how to navigate Black V market, all that stuff. And whatever Vet Mike ends up putting up for us, and just having like really easy step-by-step instructions that they can go watch in a YouTube video that maybe lasts 4 or 5 minutes. I think that's really important.
Love these points so far. G, anything to add to it? Let's keep it going.
Yeah, we actually have it for our marketplace and the wallet. We have the how-to videos. Actually, we've had it for a while, and maybe we have to update them. But when people are new to our Discord or marketplace, we have the tutorial channel, and it's got all the YouTube videos actually. So it shows you how to set up Sync 2, how to set up your profile, and also do all the things like make offers, create an NFT. But we've got the whole how to. It's focused on the marketplace, but also the wallet. So and like Cigtoshi said, the tweets like what are the steps to get started in VeChain, and then it doesn't matter in which marketplace, just how to set up your wallet and how to get started.
And I think it's taking things even a step further, because I've seen one of our community members, Luke. Shout out to Luke. It is his birthday, along with a lot of members in our community. It sounds like today. He's been creating graphics for projects about just what is War Dogs, what is VKings, and having these like 5 simple steps in a 1-page document. And it's getting to the point where it's kind of templated and repeatable. And I think if people can see it over and over again, that repetition starts to become more familiar, starts to feel a little bit more friendly. And it's about having this whole ecosystem, maybe it is Vet Mike, finding that individual that can, be that voice, and we all kind of amplify it. I don't know, what it is though. Is it YouTube videos? Is it creating a DApp? I think there is that, one more step that we are missing currently that's going to make it just a little bit easier. And I'm curious to hear from VeChain. VeChain, obviously 2023 is going to be a very big year for us, and we've got, some more interact with the community. Is there anything that you all have on the radar that you can share about, some things that might be coming with some of these educational onboarding resources and tools to bring on new users in the community?
Yeah, hi guys, Antonio. From a VeChain perspective, and we mentioned it last time, we're working a lot around standardization of tools and new gadgets, etc., to just make it easier to be onboarded on VeChain, to use VeChain in the end, and to build ecosystems around VeChain. So things like new wallets, which are coming out, both browser plugin and mobile. Talking about Web3 as a service style, or let's call them VeChain as a service with indexer, NFT APIs, etc., token APIs, pre-canned smart contracts, loads of them, and we are actually bringing the whole almost the whole Open Zeppelin libraries, testing all of them, the most popular one on VeChain, making sure everything works, and they will be, delivered within this, Web3 as a service for VeChain platform in a drag and drop fashion, where you can literally have pre-canned smart contracts and tokens that just shoot into the platform with a portal. Can be free to use or paid for enterprises. We would like to figure out, but that's another thing we're doing. I already mentioned libraries. And these are the first three things that we're going to focus for next year. Like the first couple of months, 2-3 months, we're going to release all of those within Q1 of next year. So literally between February and March. And then we will keep going, improving our documentation, of course, technical documentation, some work around connects, integrating it with Web3. That's another good one, because, the idea of any Web3 developer should just be using Web3, and automatically Web3 then goes to call connects. Peter Zhu, our chief scientist, already worked on that. And then we are bringing it a little bit, under my umbrella to get it a little bit more streamlined. Let's say that. These are some of the things we are doing. Of course, working a little bit with some IDEs like Hardhat, Truffle. Well, not IDEs. Sorry, I meant development framework, and also IDEs in the future, and see, how we can improve also that experience. Hardhat are natively working, and Truffle natively working for Ethereum. There's no reason why you can't be using those with VeChain, but there is a little bit of work to be done there, and we're working on that as well. And we will continue working on these things. So that's my update.
And I think
Translation
ahead,
on that is that you're going to get new developers coming in and going from 0 to 1 much quicker.
Yes, absolutely, because it's it all fits together. Those were the missing things that we had to speed up a little bit the onboarding of new devs, and I think by the end of Q1 we will be in a much better position.
And Ferg, I think that was kind of perfectly what you were also envisioning, kind of clickable DApp, and some of those resources. It's awesome to hear that it's already coming. And one thing that I saw in the comments here, if you all didn't, I encourage you to look at the Spaces comment. Skinny just sent this website, whatis.vet, which I think is already for what you're talking about, creating these little clickable, just links, dapps, whatever it might be, that provide some easy access to info that we can just post or send in a DM quickly. So Ferg, I'm curious, any thoughts on any of that?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, any kind of support that we're getting from the foundation is incredible. So to find out that Vet Mike is doing all this stuff, and then also the VeChain Foundation itself is also putting things together, that's huge. I think that when you have the top people, whether it be in Solana, Ethereum, Cardano, or now VeChain, supporting their NFT communities, it goes so far. You see, Charles Hoskinson all over the place, in Cardano spaces, NFT spaces, and chopping it up with people. And now the VeChain community has been incredibly active over the last couple of months, and that's huge. That's what people want to see. They want to see that there's going to be something here for the long haul. So I think it's incredibly important, and I'm really excited about it.
Agreed. I mean, what was it not too long ago, Cigtoshi? Didn't you have basically the largest Twitter space VeChain has ever been a part of? Care to talk about that at all, and some of the foundation that joined?
I didn't hear a single thing Ferg said.
Dude, I think that's just you now.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to leave and come back here. It's hard to piggyback off what Ferg's saying when it's literally silence. But yeah, the space. I mean, we had a couple big spaces pop up. One of them, Charles from Cardano jumped on, and he was doing a lot of talking about Cardano. And his thing is decentralization. And then the following week, actually, Sonny and Antonio jumped on the space as well. And they talked a lot about VeChain, of course, but just the difference between the blockchains and how they both serve a different purpose and solve different solutions. And they're both necessary. But what was cool is, with Sonny and Antonio, we also talked about community and the power of community. And a place for for NFTs, because NFTs can be a great tool to onboard people into crypto in general and to use blockchain without even realizing that they're using blockchain. The better we get at this and the more seamless we can make it, that's going to be a reality. People are going to be interacting with the blockchain and not even realize it. And they're going to be jumping in and becoming part of these communities. And then the communities will go out and start doing their own things in their own sub communities within that community, and all of it then comes back to VeChain and everyone who's building and doing stuff, creating these communities under VeChain just makes that bond between VeFam even stronger. There's always going to be different silos and people doing their own things, but today we're all building and doing stuff on VeChain. So I think that's really cool and something that we can all definitely look forward to.
I think you hit that on the head. I'd love to hear from some of our other, speakers that we have up here. Crawlin, Amphi, V Corgi, I saw you joined us, and Nero. Anything that you have to, add to some of these conversations right now on onboarding resources and really, kind of the onboarding opportunity that NFTs have for VeChain?
Yo, from my side, good evening, everyone. At first, Connor, thanks for having me up here. Crawling here, co-founder and artist of Division. Great to see you all again. Long time no see. Pretty busy holidays, pretty busy December for me. What can I add to the conversation right now and onboarding resources? I think the process of explain people the main rundown of how to join the ecosystem and these sheets you talked about. I think Luke does them. Those are great initiatives in my honest opinion, because for me, who's a cross-chain dude on ETH, on Algo, started on VeChain OG. It's definitely great to have in quick and easy rundown on where to start, where to look at, what's the main points to look at on the project side and on the blockchain side. So from my side, I would definitely only agree to everything you've said and suggested, and definitely a big thumbs up for those sheets about these specific projects. Brett.
We'll keep them coming. Brett, anything to add?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest with it. Like the biggest problem we've had with onboarding as a chain is VeChain, since its inception, has lost its presence in the mind share of general crypto natives, right? If you're out there amongst just crypto Twitter or people who are even familiar with this stuff, VeChain is the chain or the coin that they were familiar with from back in 2017, 2018, but then like kind of lost track of, and then didn't really know what was going on. But like, I had some back then, or maybe I still do, and it's off to the side, but it lost its place in the conversation. So you would always hear about L1s, you'd always hear about TPS. Like one of the biggest hurdles, literally one of the biggest hurdles, is just gaining mind share again in the conversation of crypto, that we're a valid presence and that we have something to contribute. And I honestly think our biggest opportunity is and I've been doing this. I collect graphics and shit that we see get thrown around across crypto Twitter, right? You'll see a bunch of reply guys drop these things that say our TPS is better, our decentralization better, our node count is better, our whatever. And I grab those and I drop them into a repository just so we can take those same things and just insert VeChain into that. And actually, Antonio, I think it's good that you're here, because one of the most difficult parts about this is I grab these things and I want to populate them myself, but some of them are myself. But sometimes they have some lower level technical details on there that I would be fine to put on there. But I want to make sure I have foundation sign off on the things that we're disseminating, because I'm literally going to take these images, put them back out there, and then people are going to run and they're going to paste them everywhere. And I don't want to have people pasting them back in Twitter threads with incorrect information, and that's just not good for anyone. So
it is something we can do, to have a look and validate these pieces of information. Definitely.
And maybe we can use that VeChain Project Leaders Discord as a channel for that too. We could make a channel about this content creation and, start to get more active there. Because I know we're trying to use that as kind of an avenue to start these strategic initiatives and projects working alongside the foundation. So I think that, this is awesome to hear. And, anybody else have any thoughts to kind of build upon that?
Yeah, first say, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. It's so good to hear your voice.
Oh, yes. No, I just kind of wanted to piggyback a little bit with what Brad was saying as far as it's kind of slipped the mind of people, and that we need to be back in the conversation and be back in people's thoughts. And something that we've talked about on both Project Leader Spaces so far, and I'm going to bring back up again about the biggest way to support and show love to not just your favorite project, but to the community and to grow the VeChain spaces. Retweeting, liking, joining spaces that are maybe not VeChain spaces, and finding a way to talk about VeChain. Obviously, you don't want to just join a random Ethereum space and then just come up. But anyways, guys, cool conversation. But let me tell you about VeChain, right? You can't do that, but there are a lot of cross-chain spaces hosted by different people from different chains, and I think just being active on Twitter, just throwing a like, throwing a retweet, comment a fire emoji or something, and it does do a lot for the algorithm and put VeChain in people's faces.
Hit it on the head, and you can start seeing it with some of these Twitter polls. I mean, I don't know about you, but earlier this year, we weren't even on the Twitter polls. Now we are, and we're actually taking 10, 20% of votes. So we are climbing. It is shifting. It's just that consistency. World of E and Cigtoshi.
Hi guys, good evening everyone. It's Beth Lever here. Yeah, just I want to connect to what Brad said because as you know, we started a while back, and our aim at the beginning was to one of onboarding artists from different blockchain, where basically we kind of had an hard time at the beginning. First of all, because no one knew that VeChain was having NFTs. The other problem was that for a lot of people, it was actually really hard to buy NFTs on VeChain. We were targeting collectors of the artists that we were onboarding. And for them, not having a way to swap their tokens, for example, coming from Ethereum or from Tezos, was a kind of hard. So we had, a kind of difficult time onboarding all these, new artists and the collectors from other blockchains. But I feel like it's getting easier and easier as time goes. Obviously, with the new tools that VeChain is about to provide us, the onboarding process will be really great, I believe, for the whole ecosystem. But yeah, that was one of the things, Also, not having all the exchanges in the States supporting VeChain was another thing. But I believe now, again, it's easier because it's been a while. And obviously, having a new wallet whenever we'll be ready will facilitate the onboarding. Things have changed, as I can say, because we shift our focus around. And now we're working with more business companies where actually they're completely new to cryptos and they don't need any because, as you all know, we all use the fee delegation. So that is making things easier for us. And but let's see, we really can't wait to see what the beginning of the year it's going to bring us.
Love that. And, Cigtoshi, before going over to you, I just want to, shout out the community for embracing the fee delegation messaging. Because ever since it was brought up here on this Twitter space by Brad, this community has made sure that we are trying to include that more into all of our messaging when talking about this. And I think it's working. It's helping us stand out and, get back in that discussion. Cigtoshi, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, I really just wanted to go back to what Ferg was saying. Everyone's been doing a really good job. And honestly, like us popping up on those Twitter polls with the likes of, Cardano and some of the other big chains, like,
And
hey,
dunking on Aptos.
that means like
we dunked on. We beat them yesterday.
We beat them. We dunked on them, dude. Like that means we're getting out there. I'm proud of every single one of those votes. Every one of those votes, like that stuff matters. And I think once we get like the VNS out here too, and we can start putting .vet in our names, you do jump into Twitter space and just hang out, and someone might see that and be like, and request you up to speak. And you might not be well versed in speaking on Twitter spaces, but like I encourage you to just try it. Comes to worse, you just leave the space and people forget about it. It's like not that big of a deal, trust me. But we need more people out there just dabbling in spaces and not even in the same space as each other. Just like go plant seeds in other small communities and just like get to know people and people start recognizing VeChain, and it'll just get in their head, like Brett was saying. We need to start capturing that mind share, and it, we could all do our part. So I just encourage everyone to start doing that, big or small. Let's just make it happen. You never know where it goes. Like I never thought I'd be hosting this weekly space, and having Charles on and Sonny on. It happens. You got to be consistent. You just got to take a chance and get out there and do it.
Or just casually Antonio here joining us twice. I mean, it's incredible to see where this thing is going and where this ecosystem is going. There's not many aspects of your life where you can be on a Twitter space and talk to the C-suite of a leading disruptive company on the face of the planet. And so having these leaders, start to get more active, people like Antonio, people like Sonny, people like Demetrius, interacting with our community, it's so exciting to see, and it makes me just beyond pumped for the future. I know we've got some hands up, so Vet Mike, Nero, and Ferg, then V Corey.
Yeah, sorry if it's a bit late, but I had to restart as well because I couldn't hear Brad. But I pinned a tweet from Vinny. He is the product manager for the new wallet, and I see some of you already commented to his tweet, reaching out for feedback and ideas for the new wallet. But be sure to give him a follow. And also, I'm one of the privileged persons to have already play tested with the new wallet. And guys, it's gonna be awesome. So, and it will really help with
just
onboarding.
end with that. We got to hear a little more of a teaser. We got to hear a little more of a teaser.
Antonio's here, so I can't say anymore.
Smart man. Nero, anything that you want to add? I'm excited for that wallet. I know everyone is. Nero, I think you're muted if you're talking. We'll head over to V Corgi for now. V Corgi, can you hear us?
Yeah, hi guys. First of all, thanks for having me. So for everybody who doesn't know me yet, I'm V Corgi, the founder of Corgi Gang. And I wanted to just touch on what Cigtoshi said. So I totally agree with everybody counts. So just by someone who is listening to the space, we up our listening count and we get more noticed on other people who are trying to join the space. It's every single thing you do of interaction on Twitter with or your project or with VeChain or with even listening to just a space and showing off an NFT or something of VeChain just helps the community to grow and helps to get new eyes on each project and on the VeChain itself. And I think that's the most important, that everybody knows they are actually a community member who has also some responsibility to the project and who also need it in the project to be successful. So everybody is needed, and I think that's the most important for everybody to learn today also.
I love that, B. Corgi. I love that, and welcome to the space. Thank you for joining us up here. We'll hand it over to Ferg and Bryce.
Yeah, I was just reading through the comments on the space, and I think this kind of comes into what we're talking about. So RSGO VeChain mentioned, is the foundation making efforts to get on more exchanges like Coinbase, Gemini, etc.? So maybe the foundation or Antonio, do you guys have any updates on something like that as far as getting in front of as many people as possible and making it as easy as possible to get into VeChain? Any updates on something like that?
Sorry, can you repeat your question? I missed it there.
Yeah, no problem.
You were breaking a bit. Apologies.
Oh, no worries. RSGO VeChain asks, is the foundation making efforts to get on more exchanges like Coinbase, Gemini, etc.?
We are making efforts to get more, and there will be updates in the next few months. But I cannot say more than that.
That sounds like a wink, nudge. Just kidding. No, Antonio, I'm excited for it. It sounds like it's on the radar, and it's on the community's minds. Because again, the easier access that we can get, the easier it is to mass adopt. Price, anything to add?
Yeah. So hey, thanks for having me, everybody. I love this space, and I love what you guys are doing here. So I'm obviously if anyone has ever seen my wallet, I'm fairly bullish on VeChain NFTs, and I love what we're doing, what you all have been doing in spaces, and I hear them, and sometimes I pop into a random space that one of you are in, and I hear you talking about VeChain and VeChain NFTs, and it's amazing. So yes to everything that we've said to date. I think it's great. I think getting to that point is where I start to think about is what are the major things like. Those I come from the sports world, so I think of those in terms of season tickets. We talk about 2s and 4s, right? And so you go into spaces and use in 4s. do we have anything on the horizon that's going to be a mass influx of people? That's where my head goes. Like all the things you're talking about with building and being ready for people and onboarding and making that easier is great, especially if we have a mass amount of people that are coming to this chain. And when you think about it, and yes, we're growing, and I hear all that stuff. And by the way, I love our projects. When I take a look at our projects as compared to other chains, our projects are amazing. But we still are just so small in the NFT world as compared to everybody else, or almost, compared to the biggest people out there for sure. So does the foundation, I guess maybe this is for you, Antonio, but
Yeah.
does the foundation have anything on the horizon that we can look forward to support kind of a mass influx of eyeballs / attention / onboarding?
I will be straightforward here. To be honest, it's going to be our white paper. We're not saying revamping is wrong. I would actually say we are, as Sunny mentioned recently, we are coming out with our new white paper, which is all going to be focused on sustainability, goal sustainability. And what does it mean for VeChain and for everyone else? Which means why VeChain, why blockchain, why Web3, why DAO, and how we can help the entire world to be more sustainable. There's going to be a lot of info there, a lot of use cases, a lot of things that can be done, a lot of information about how VeChain will play in this space and why VeChain, but why Web3, DAO, and crypto, why everyone else as well. So this idea of an open community around sustainability. And so the white paper is probably the biggest one because it really sets our agenda. It says where we want to go, what we want to enable. And I leave it there and see what do you think, guys.
So that's one thing, and I'll let people talk, and I'll go back down to listening to this. But so yes to that. I think that sounds great. Where my head is going, and I know we obviously put a lot of money into the UFC deal, and they already have kind of an NFT partner in place. Where my head is going is if you guys would have out and signed UFC today, and they're whatever their NFT partner is in trouble. I can't remember who it is, but I have to go back and look. But if you were to go back and sign a UFC deal today, or go out and sign someone else today, let's just say you say, hey, we're going to sign a world famous football club or a world, big NFL team or something, and you carve out NFT rights. Like, to me, this is where eyeballs and attention for this NFT space and VeChain NFTs all of a sudden gets kind of instant credibility, instant eyeballs, instant users, and instant access. Those are the kinds of things I'm talking about. The white paper, I think, will be great. And I hear you. I think that sounds awesome, but that's where my head's going.
Yeah, no, there is about the white paper, just to add on that, you can imagine that it's going to be delivered with a large client and that helps like the reach really of users and enterprises that can then develop on VeChain ecosystem, etc. Going back to your question about NFTs and partnership with sports events, I think you've seen already with the ATP the guys with Bordeaux, we actually delivered an interesting raffle, let's call it like that, and digital art with the ATP. I think when it comes to NFT, it's a large space. Anyone that thinks they carved out the NFT, how do you call it, the NFT space within an agreement, I mean, they may find a surprise because it's such a big space that NFT means many things. Could be phygitals, could be purely digital, could be X, Y, and Z. So I think there's room, within any partnership that we do to still play our cards within an NFT marketplace. So I think it's more complex than that. It's not just you sign a contract, someone else has NFT rights. Yes, but what does it mean really? I mean, the legalities. Guys, how lawyers work and how contracts work. They there is space probably to be doing more things. Another thing is, still in terms of use of getting a bigger user base and growing VeChain. I mentioned before you asked me the question, are you guys working on more exchanges, trying to get more exchanges on board? Yes, we're trying to get more exchanges on board, and or actually we are trying to get onboarded into more exchanges, and that's another big thing, which will increase for sure the volume and our reach. And so I think these are some of the things we're doing. And again, happy to hear back from you.
Bryce, anything else that you would like to, add on to that? I think this is a great discussion so far. And it looks like Brett and then Cigtoshi have some thoughts to add on.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Hey, thanks, Antonio. I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
No worries.
Great stuff, man. Thank you.
Another thing, I mean, in terms of UFC, I put it out there that there's there are other things that we can do, and we will be doing more things. I mean, just expect some more integration and community events related to the UFC. It's not just the VeChain name there, which is great to have, but there's gonna be interaction and user interaction within the UFC community. So just expect more there as well. So guys, it's really an effort across many areas and many literally many businesses. It's enterprises, it's community, sports events, it's sustainability, it's tools. I haven't been busier in my career. I've been working with big firms in the past, so it's quite exciting. I have to be honest with you.
Well, and the community's pushing some events too. I know we've got a giant event that the community is trying to organize in March with, VeChain and the UFC in Vegas. So we'll be seeing if we can try and get a bunch of people there to, even if it's outside the arena hanging out in a bar. This community is strong and they want to come together for more in real life events. And so it's exciting to hear that, this is definitely a topic that's coming up more. So I'll hand it over to Brad and Cigtoshi.
Yeah, I guess so. First of all, after hearing Antonio's response, my response is going to be a little more bullish than I originally had intended or what originally formed in my mind. Hearing like that there's actually a partner being dropped with the white paper itself, and then kind of the multi-front attack that you guys seem to be taking, that adds legitimacy, which is good. But Price, before I answer, whenever you say huge influx, do you have a rough number in your head of like people onboarding?
To me, like we're small enough that we could 2x like overnight with the right partner. That's how I look at it. It's like we could 3x overnight with the right partner. And so when I start thinking about huge influx, like that's we can double
relatively huge, right?
That's it. Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I mean, I was going to say, I think I was going to say if like a white paper was the thing, unfortunately, that's probably not anything that was going to do anything astounding. Because frankly, the one thing I've learned over the last year of doing this stuff pretty intensely is that attention to anything is basically nil in this space. So if you're asking someone to click a link, okay, maybe if you're asking someone to click a link and then read a paragraph, we're starting to get crazy. And then a white paper, that's just right out, unfortunately. But if we can have names and simple initiatives that we can extract from that, and something that adds that legitimacy that I pointed to earlier, then yes, I think that level of add more, then I'm a little more excited about it, right? If I can pull snippets that make sense, that can be distilled really easily into something that someone can connect with and go bullish, then that is something that I'm now excited for as well.
We love to hear Brad getting bullish. Not that you weren't bullish before, but even more bullish, Brad. We love it. Cigtoshi, anything to add on?
Yeah, so hearing Price talk and just thinking about a conversation I had with Data, who I'm going to try and remember because he said it a lot more smart than I can. But, I brought up for like this mass, influx of people. I brought up for those, who watch American football, there was a Super Bowl commercial a couple years back where it was just a QR code and a blank screen behind it. And it was just like bouncing around the screen, like that old BD symbol, just bouncing across the screen.
It was Coinbase, yep.
Yeah, and it was a Coinbase commercial, and it was so simple, and it was just a QR code. It took you to Coinbase, and you created your profile, wallet, everything like that, and you had a chance to win. I can't even remember how many dollars it was, but such a simple commercial that drew everyone's attention. It had like a record number of scans on that QR code. Now thinking about UFC, and I see Data's coming up here, so maybe he can kind of fill in the gaps that I'm missing. But in terms of like the UFC, like if we could find a way to get like a QR code up there and airdrop people who were at that event like a free NFT. It doesn't even have to have any value. It's just like proof that I was there. And then you could do this to other events like, that VeChain puts on or sponsors, and you could scan this QR code and start collecting these things like trophies. To me, that kind of just gets people used to using the wallet and NFTs and different things like that. But man, just think about if you're at Madison Square Garden, right? And there's a QR code. Think about how many people would actually scan that thing. So it's just a thought, and Data is up here now, so maybe he can talk more about like the non-custodial aspect of it and stuff like that. But yeah, I just want to throw that out there.
Data, anything you want to add? Because it sounds like we're kind of talking about, POAPs. And for those that don't know, that's a proof of attendance protocol, which is basically what Cigtoshi is talking about. Saying, hey, I was at this event. And there's a lot of creative things that can come with that. Maybe it's exclusive footage. Maybe it's photos that you took at the event that are now tied to that NFT forever. So you can't lose them in a photo album, whatever that might be. So there's a lot of creative things that we can do with POAPs, but I want to hand it over to, Data, who joined us to speak, and then Brett, and then also Sarah, welcome to the stage.
Hey, hi. Yeah, so I'm really excited that Cigtoshi mentioned about, the Pope's POAP's equivalent. We're definitely working on that. We're trying to work on that. So that's an outcome we're hoping that will materialize, and something we're really excited about with the UFC integration. So yeah, just wanted to chime in over there to say we're on the same page about this.
Sarah, that is music to the community's ears. We love, love, love to hear that. I know everybody wants more in-person events, so that is great.
Yes, you're welcome.
Brett, anything to add on? And Data, of course, jump in whenever.
I'll see the Data.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. It all kind of functions around how the wallet aspect's going to work, because it's going to be difficult to get new people on board when they've got to write down their mnemonic phrases, in an arena with 20,000 people. But with a good wallet and with a good option,
like the fee delegation,
yeah,
exactly.
It's
yeah.
So
Antonio's team, they're gonna launch the wallet, and with that wallet, we're able to do a lot of things, a lot of collaborative stuff. So UFC is definitely one contender on our list. Please stay tuned. Yep.
I love it. Brett.
Yeah. So okay, my mind's racing right now. So there's two things I see going on here. One is I was afraid of going down a conversation of having like another VeChain offshoot of a larger protocol that exists elsewhere, but it sounds like that you guys are already doing, which is great. And like it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just one thing that I'm afraid of is being so isolated from the rest of crypto that we create our own iteration of everything, and then like we continue to be siloed, which has always been kind of the problem with VeChain is we don't connect to other networks, whether it's through exchanges or bridges or whatever. Like and we've created a bubble. It's a strong bubble. Like we're an awesome bubble. They should come in our bubble, but we're in a bubble.
Have you checked out the wallet yet? I mean, did they give you access or something?
No, I'm super excited for it though.
Okay, yeah, then yeah, the wallet is going to be really inclusive. I'll use the word inclusive.
I am beyond excited for this wallet. Yeah, I was going to say the kind of teasers that we're getting, the breadcrumbs we're getting are very excited. No pun intended, Brett. But one thing that I wanted to talk to the tweet that we pinned up here. One of the community members in VeChain made a awesome move talking with a friend in their network. Huge shout out to Banks. He was connected with this individual that was part of the KC Sporting Major League Soccer team. This individual has been holding VeChain for quite some time, a theme that we've been talking about this entire space. Did not even know VeChain had NFTs. Is now looking more into this ecosystem, and it sounds like more team members might be interested too. I think that these types of one-off engagements and opportunities within our personal network are actually huge for us to start exploring. Because could you imagine what happens if, I don't know, the KC team decides, wow, we really like collaborating with some of these NFT projects. Maybe for the next season, we'll do a discount on different events that will encourage new faces to come to our arenas, whatever it might be. Those type collaborations are possible by people in this community just taking that step, reach out to people in their network and saying, check out the value that this can bring to you. Because I think that two-way street and communication is starting to happen more, and people are seeing the value here. It's just not happening enough. Price, or actually, Nero, you've had your hand up for a while, and then we'll go to Price.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, back to what Leonidas was saying. A few months ago, I went to the Formula One, and Crypto.com was doing the QR code. So each member had the chance to scan a QR, and they got an NFT. I think it's a very, very, very good idea, but I think we should wait a while, because right now I think we need to wait until the waters get calm, because you know what happened with FTX. They made a huge investment in branding stadiums and working with big names. So people, I don't know. I think people right now don't trust in big promotions. So just like my personal opinion.
I like the point that you have there, and I'll hand it over to Price in a second. One thing that I want to say is, those big promotions, those influencer, pumps, I think those days are behind us. But I think that the utility of collaborating with those entities are the days that are ahead. When you announce that, what does that actually mean? Is your name going on it, or are you getting a discount for tickets and services? Are you getting access to exclusive events that others aren't? That's where I think the future is going, and I think that a lot of NFT projects are going to start driving that narrative. I think you're going to see that a lot with some of these projects that have accumulated mass amounts of funding, like Yuga Labs, who is basically writing a story with their NFTs and are getting new entities to collaborate. You saw DGods head over to Polygon that has a variety, gigantic enterprise names on there that are probably looking to collaborate. These type of ideas, I think, are starting to come more top of mind for this ecosystem and are going to drive a new narrative on what those collaborations mean. Now, that's my opinion on it. Just kind of building off what you said, Nero. And let's hand it over to Price, and then back to Ferg, and then Mr. Hoddle. You're next.
Yeah, I completely agree with what both of you guys just said. Nero, I love that. I think that's correct. It's not about paying someone to be a face. It's not even, it's but being, imagine VeChain was the hub of NFTs for all things UFC, and they're buying, their fans are coming to VeChain exchanges to buy and sell their NFTs. Like, to me, that's the gold. And I want to just drop this. I almost didn't, but this is just so you guys know what the foundation. Like, I work with some of the biggest global sports franchises in the world. If you guys have an appetite for some partnerships in this space, like this is what I do, and I'm starting to turn my kind of in real life job into a NFT and Web3 kind of position, at least part of it. So if it's something you guys have an appetite for, I'm happy to reach out and start a conversation, because these conversations are coming. But I agree with you what you're saying there. This isn't about buying a face. This is about getting eyeballs to actually use the actual the chain. So thanks everybody. I appreciate it. Love the space. Love the conversation.
Price, always saying what we're all thinking. I really appreciate you joining us here. Ferg, anything that you want to add on to that? Because I think those were some great points. Hit it on the head.
Yeah, I just can't let this conversation pass without me just, quadrupling down. I think Nero's exactly right. We cannot hire just a Jake Paul or a Logan Paul to be like, hey, come to VeChain, right? Like that.
Let's just not do that in general.
Yeah, I mean, that's gone. That's out the window. But what we can do, like you said, Connor, is just actually make legitimate partnerships that benefit both the business and the consumer, the holder of the NFT, and things like that. If you hold this NFT, you get 15% off tickets, or whatever it might be. We're talking about sports right now, so that's what I went with. But I mean, you could do it with any number of businesses, and that's where I think the true partnership should rely on. I know you guys had already said that, but I fully support that, and I think that's the way to go, as opposed to just a facade of a partnership, like a true partnership where it benefits the holder and the business.
And I think that'll perfectly lead into our next section. But before we do that, I want to make sure we get to Mr. Hoddle, World of V, and then also we got 170 people in this space. Let's make sure we get some likes and some retweets on this, because this is an amazing discussion. Let's make sure we have eyes on it. Urge you all to do that if you haven't done it already. Mr. Hoddle, take it away.
So I don't know if you guys have seen what Ticketmaster is doing with its interactive commemorative collectible. That's what they're calling it. I still think that's the best way to onboard people, is to get them in a position where they don't know that they're actually getting an NFT. And the way that they're doing it is pretty cool, because it actually changes colors. And if you want, I can actually pin it up top, because I pulled it up just for reference.
Please do.
Yeah. And nextly, so you could get the chance at a future raffle. So I don't know if you guys have ever been to a ticket, a game, a basketball game. I go to the Garden, TD Garden games. You get the chance to win at future raffles if you put something in the basket. This way here, I don't have to worry about putting something in the basket. I don't have about, we might reach out to you in the future. There's no chance of mix up here. I'm automatically entered in the raffle. As soon as it's up and ready, and they picked me, I still have that commemorative ticket right there. Boom, automatic, good to go. There's no need to show any identification. I can just say, hey, here's my wallet address, and you can double check, you can verify. Boom, I win. You know what I mean? So I think what Ticketmaster is doing is pretty ingenious, and hopefully more people start to adopt it. And maybe that's something that VeChain can look at with the UFC in order to integrate a little sooner.
Spot on. I mean, I think tickets have always been something that have been very clear to me as a giant use case for NFTs. How many times have you heard a friend go and buy a concert ticket and it's a fake? What if you could actually validate every time, is the ticket I'm buying to the concert addresses, wallet or contract that's associated to it? That would be crazy valuable and literally solve this issue completely. So I think that's amazing to hear. World of E, anytime.
Well, yeah, I mean, seeing that we're talking about, sport, proof of attendance, and, membership, I just want to mention that we are working with an Italian company called X Plus, and actually they represent some of the top athletes in Italy, and also they represent some celebrities. What we're doing with them, it's very simple, and it's just what Mr. Hope described, where basically, they're having all their top athletes promote this membership, which is just a free NFT that everyone can claim on World of B. To claim it, they will need to have a secret code that they can find on the X Plus Instagram profile. And then once they receive these NFT, there will be a draw where basically they can win memorabilia from the athletes and other benefits from X Plus in this case. So basically it's just like, a membership with benefits. And yeah, that's something that we're doing. So it's already here, it's on VeChain, and it's actually doing pretty well. They have 7 athletes promoting the drop. They have about altogether 2 million followers. So it's interesting to see, all the people coming and, claiming this NFT. And as I was saying before, we're targeting people that are completely new. So they don't even know what is a wallet. So they're, just interacting with Cigtoshi in this case to claim this NFT. It's a good experiment for us. There is a lot to learn, I have to say. But yeah, definitely it's something that it's possible and that more and more companies are doing. That's all.
And I think we have an avenue to get some more exposure to those companies. And I think that'll kind of lead into our next section here. So Brett, if you want to kind of bring us over to, kind of finish on some thoughts here and then talking more about what this collaboration between the foundation and this community could look like in 2023.
Oof, asking for the bridge. I was actually just going to extend some of the NFT use case stuff where.
Keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, apologies. I had heard a really good podcast from Punk 6542 talking about, and he's a technologist talking about the future. And what I always try to bring up, because I think VeChain is the king of using NFTs for non JPEG purposes. Even though whenever you hear NFT today, you think of JPEGs, and a lot of people forget that. But going back to that podcast, he discussed that what these things can enable is creating markets out of fractured databases. And a perfect example of that is, thinking of like a hotel room, right? Or hotel bookings, where today, if you were to go and book a room, you have to trust this one hotel, do not overbook it. And once you buy that, it's sitting, just in your custody. And if you wanted to get rid of that, you have to contact the hotel. Hotel has to cancel it. They have to then enable it so that someone else can buy that same room. Like, it's a pain in the dick, right? Whereas if you were to tokenize these things, right, I could sell you New Year's Eve in Paris at this hotel on this night. Then you have a tokenized representation of this thing, which is a reservation at this hotel. And then you can go next door and, if someone comes along, you can sell them that room, right? They have access to that room. They can go and do that thing, as opposed to the whole rigmarole of going back through the hotel service and having them manage all that stuff. And then in that process of you reselling that room, maybe a cut of those funds goes back to the hotel itself. And they can have all this on a curated marketplace that they run, and maybe they have a fee instead of the royalty stuff. So like, they're just, I say that as a way to expand people's minds because a lot of people think of NFTs as JPEGs. They're not just JPEGs, and that's just a small example of where this stuff can go and should go. And I think it's only appropriate that it's done here on VeChain, which, again, is standing on the true use of NFTs through, supply chain logistics, authenticity, all of that.
Yo, I'm sweeping the floor of hotel rooms. Let's go, baby. Send me the marketplace.
Did everybody write that down? Did everybody write down? I'm finishing my notes. Fred, awesome points. I think that was, a great transition to kind of talk about also there's so much more than just these PFPs. And I think that VeChain is built for business. We always hear that. It's built for these giant enterprise companies. It's built for moving all of this mass data. But what about some of these smaller entities, some of these startup companies, some of these individual users? It is built for us. So Sarah, some things that you want to add there as we continue to kind of talk about the future of 2023 and what this community collaboration with the foundation could look like.
Yeah, sure. So I think both of you mentioned something about tapping into 2 million users, right? And I thought, wow, that number is huge. And I also wanted to chime in and say that, hey, in Q1, the community would be able to expect a mass education campaign with a huge player in the market. We're talking about 1.1 million wallets, people who are already crypto natives, and they will be exposed to the VeChain token or what VeChain is trying to do in this mass education campaign. So I think this is something we're working on, and it will eventually materialize within the first quarter. So yeah, leaving that as to onboarding bigger numbers onto the ecosystem, something that one initiative that we're reaching out, we're attempting to do. Yes.
I know I just wrote that on my whiteboard, 1.1 million wallets. Everybody hear that right?
Yep.
That is awesome to hear, Sarah. And it sounds like it's coming from, some large players. But I want to go back to the point, I was talking about. I think there's a lot of small players that we can absolutely get into this ecosystem. And I think we can do it through a unique channel that VeChain already has access. Startup Grind. Startup Grind is the largest startup community in the world with 5 million members. And there's 6,500, I think 7,000 now businesses that are part of their startup program. And the vast majority, upwards of 90%, are Web2 businesses. And so far, we already have 2 VeChain companies that are, or VeChain projects that are represented within this ecosystem. We have Safe Haven and Mad V8s. And I'm talking with a few others, including the foundation, about joining this community to start to go to some of these events as a collective unit and talk to these Web2 companies about, have you thought about using this technology here? And with some of the resources that sounds like the foundation is bringing us, some of those dApps, some of those educational materials, we might be able to actually go to these companies and successfully onboard them, not at the giant enterprise level, but where I believe innovation happens in people's garages, in these small startup companies that are looking to disrupt industries. How can we get them here before they become $1 billion business? And so, that's something that I want to talk to all of you about as we kind of head over to this next portion of our discussion. And it looks like the foundation has their hand raised. So is there anything that you would like to add on here?
Hey guys, Solomon here. Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties earlier, but I'm now able to speak. Yeah, I guess I just want to jump on that point, which I think is very, again, in line with what Antonio's team is currently leading, the whole Web 2 to Web 3, the onboarding and the kind of tools that are being built right now to facilitate that jump over. I think, you can look to some examples within the ecosystem of where that developmental direction is going with VeChain.energy, fantastic dev doing some great things. Sandbox is it's very much the Antonio, correct me if I'm wrong, but the kind of tech direction we're heading right now. I think we've got some projects, that are actually already testing out some of the stuff that is in development, and it's all about creating that easy Web 2, Web 3 transition. Like take the blockchain out of blockchain. I know someone was talking earlier about almost normalizing. You don't want blockchain to be this other thing, like it has, these strange names and these new terms. You just want it to be this seamless transition. And essentially, that's definitely the direction that is kind of being built towards right now. So yeah, I think we've got someone in the room potentially involved with that. I mean, UCO, forgive me if I'm saying too much, but yeah, the whole just ease of building solutions, taking advantage of blockchain, but without it being blockchain and having to, dig deep and learn this whole new rigmarole. So, that's something very exciting to watch out for, again, in Q1.
Q1 is going to be a lot of fun. Cigtoshi, I saw you had your hand up. Anything to add on to the discussion here?
Yeah, I mean, I just think education for these Web2 businesses and just making sure that they know, hey, there's an opportunity here to get out in front and get accustomed and acquainted to Web3. the benefits of it, the opportunities of it. This Web3 space that we're all in, it's amazing. Like, you can connect with people across the world so fast and easily, and there's value to that. So you kind of, if you can get that point across to some of these Web2 businesses where it makes sense for them to have um, a place in Web3, I think it could really add value to them. So um, I encourage everyone to get out there and start talking. If you have access to business owners, just kind of start planting seeds and talking to them about it. And if they're interested, help walk them through it, help them bridge over to Web3, because you might be doing them a big favor.
There's an entire market of people here that I think are extremely interactive, that startups need. Startups need that communication, that feedback, that engagement from their early adopters and users. And I think VeChain, we have proved we are a very strong community. We might not be huge in numbers yet, but man, are we strong when we rally onto a post. You will always see pictures of VKings, of Mino Mobs, of Mad V8s, of War Dogs, going down the list of the 30 projects, that are part of this space. I'm seeing them everywhere. And, it's just about having that consistency and keeping that going. But how we do that, I think that's through these educational materials like you're talking about, Cigtoshi, and actually getting boots on the ground to talk to these startups. I think that it's great to build this material, but expecting these individuals to, just see it and find it on their own, that's another thing. I think that we are going to have to make some effort as a community and, as VeChain, to go and talk to these companies and make sure they understand these opportunities actually exist. And that's where call to action goes out to every single person on this call. There's 170 of you listening right now. I guarantee you 170 people, you probably know a friend that's an entrepreneur, runs a gym, does a training business, whatever it might be. Those types of things are absolutely valuable to this ecosystem, because there are tons of different projects that would see, opportunity and, I can go purchase a health food spread, Coney Superfoods, at a discount just because I own this NFT. That's awesome. And that's an example that is quite literally coming in Q1. And it was brought by a community member. It's nothing special. Anybody can do this. It's just more people need to step up and actually do it. Do we have
real quick, Connor, and the foundation is supportive of that. Like, I'll tell, I'll be brief about it, but I know a business here in Chicago. It's a successful bar restaurant, and it's called Over Under, and they have the sole partnership with FanDuel. FanDuel is a sports betting platform, and they provide people at the bar, physically at the bar, special betting odds, boosts, even credits for bets. So people who are there can get access to it because of the bar's relationship with FanDuel. Now, since I know the bar owner, I talked to him about VeChain and Mad V8s, in particular, but more so VeChain, because they're putting on a party, for UFC 283 on January 21st. And I was like, well, look, we have some VeFam people who are from Chicago. Let's all go there, see if he can hook us up, with a VIP table and a couple free drinks and stuff like that for the VeFam who shows up. And he was so on board with it. And he started coming up with other ideas. Maybe we can do a bigger meetup there and use that place as a landing zone for everyone to meet up and then go from there. But, on top of it, like, he was interested in having a spot in like metaverse as well. So like think about this. FanDuel provides like a code, which you enter into your betting app and you get, a boost on your betting odds. Well, they can plant that code in the metaverse. So now you don't actually just have to be at the bar. You can be anywhere in the world. You just have to go to their building or their metaverse virtual bar, get those betting odds. So for us, for VeChain, like, if we can kind of put our, the word out there that, hey, this is all powered by a community on VeChain, that's going to start spreading around Chicago. Like, this is a very popular bar, and we're going to have a big party there of people repping VeChain gear and stuff like that. Like, we're going to have some QR codes made up on coasters or whatever, flyers, whatever. The word's going to get out. And I think that kind of stuff, anyone can do it. You just have to get out there and start asking around and spreading the word.
And to give you another example of, just kind of building on the educational route, there's, a startup that I advise in the K through 12 education space called Spikeview. And they're, coming and exploring VeChain as well. And one thing that they're interested to do, and this is a call out to all, NFT ecosystem project leaders, they're looking to build co-branded educational contents to help teach the next generation how to use blockchain. What is an NFT? Why would you even use VeChain? What are the values that it can bring? And create these courses and provide them to K through 12 students and young professionals that are learning about this. And so that's something that I think also we can start doing, is finding ways to create this co-branded educational material with the resources that the foundation is about to provide us, and see what we can do to get this in front of more faces. So, I know we have a lot of ideas out there. It's just really a call to action now. Let's see what we can do with some of these ideas in 2023 and what some of these community members and leaders can bring. So any last thoughts here on, just some initial ideas around collaborations with the foundation? I know we've talked a lot about it, and we did skip one little action item that I want to make sure we cover before we get ready to head to our community questions portion. Well, then I want to call out an awesome individual who has been helping grow, I think, the entire NFT ecosystem on every single blockchain. Huge shout out to StockTwits. I see them here as a listener, and they have been a giant supporter of the VeChain NFT ecosystem. And I think they're a big reason that we've even started to become more in this discussion. Our volume's starting to climb. We are actually starting to pass other blockchains. And I know War Dogs was doing a lot of work figuring out how projects can get more active there. I'd like to, open it up to the floor here and hear some thoughts about kind of where we can start collaborating more with StockTwits in the future, because we've got a couple projects here in VeChain that made their banner out of every single blockchain in the entire ecosystem. So clearly, we're represented. What else can we do to continue to shop and kind of leverage them as a key resource? And StockTwits, I see you up here as a speaker. Any thoughts that you have about kind of working here with the VeChain community over the last, few months?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, thank you for the kind words. It's actually been really awesome. I had a meeting today with people at StockTwits, and they were asking me about VeChain. Just like I went to Cardano a long time ago, they were pretty much like, "What the hell is a VeChain? Who is on that chain?" So it was pretty fun explaining like why I'm here and going. But yeah, as for StockTwits, obviously, as you know, we haven't shipped any really like NFT features yet. But as for opportunity, I mean, it's huge, right? We have 6 million investors, equity, crypto, and NFT investors, and there are some VeChain projects that post there every. War Dogs post every single day. Holly Grant, I think, is her Twitter. She was actually on StockTwits a year before I started. She posts every single day. So there's a lot of people who use that platform. And if the foundation's interested, you can make an account and we can verify it. And we can like pin your post if there's any announcements or anything like that. We do that with some other foundations, and I know that CoinMarketCap actually out to us, and I believe that you guys post on there and do kind of the same type of thing. I mentioned a bunch of foundations when they reached out to us. Yeah, and it's been awesome. I worked with Bread, and obviously we work with CryptoSlam, and it seems like they submitted a proposal to get some data from VeChain on their website. So that's another big step just for visibility overall and getting it on StockTwits. So yeah, it's been great. I think things are going in the right direction, and I know the foundation has reached out a couple different channels to like get an idea how they can onboard new people. So I'm bullish and I'm excited on it, honestly.
Bullish on StockTwits. We'd love to hear that. I guess you mentioned something there that I want to see if we can hear a little bit more about. There's no NFT features yet, but obviously it's grown a lot over the last probably 6 months for you in terms of following, engagement, and people asking for new things from, this kind of community. Is there anything you can share with us about, ideas or potential things that might be coming in 2023 that we can be on the lookout for to make sure we're, looking into how to use it to best grow our community on StockTwits?
Yeah, I think, on StockTwits, if you want, in our bio, we have a link tree. I think there's some information to some links that you can utilize to kind of figure out how to use it and what to do. And War Dogs is on there. You can kind of go to their profile and figure it out. And I'm happy to walk whoever through how to kind of use StockTwits. But for VeChain, something that could be done or something that's coming up. I mean, ideas like Chicago and UFC, like that's all great. But you're still kind of siloing those type of things, and your reach might be limited. Something like NFT NYC is an absolute huge opportunity. Algorand had a like pre NFT party the day before it started. I met a ton of people. I met like the Bitmart CEO. I met some people that work from Coinbase. I met a ton of people at this Algorand party. And it looks like the Algorand Foundation is a lot more involved now in doing stuff like this. And Jeff runs that. I don't know if some of you know him. He's pretty active. But yeah, I think they would probably be pretty open to having like an Algorand and VeChain like joint party. To just make it a little bigger. Both communities are pretty small. But yeah, things like that I think are huge. I've made the best connections I have in this space of NFT NYC, and that kind of jump started this 6 months of growth that I've seen. I've never met more people or the people that kind of pull the levers and make partnerships happen. And meeting in person is a lot different than sitting here on a space. I think NFT NYC would be a huge opportunity to do just something small, get people together, and just help the VeChain experience really.
I think those are some great points. And putting you on the spot, VeChain Foundation, Sarah, Antonio, anything that you can share with us about potentially doing something like that and getting more involved at some of these giant blockchain events and trying to drive our community there for some of these, I don't know, pre-parties or after parties.
Yeah, so 2022, we actually have been attending various conferences, and we do have plans to take part next year. Noted on what StockTwit mentioned, and I will do my best and get a team there, and probably work with Algorand or maybe have our own booth.
And I think to add on, I think obviously we've been developing a lot more of a community focus. I think the power, obviously, the foundation can provide a lot of that foundational layer stuff. But I think obviously we're also in a position that we have such a strong community, we can leverage the community as well, which we can help get people to these events as kind of spokespeople. It's something we've been doing kind of with the UFC events, having different communities along, and like you've been discussing, Connor, leveraging the power of the community to reinforce that growth. It's quite a powerful mechanism. So I think certainly StockTwits, I'll be in touch soon to kind of facilitate that account. And I know we've got our own chat going on about some of the other project work going on, but definitely networking is key. I mean, from personal experience, I was at an event myself, well, ATP, and just being on the ground with people, you just get such a different energy. I can't agree more, sorry, about how much more impactful it is to have a face-to-face conversation, feel someone's energy. It's so much more infectious. So yeah, definitely the agenda for next year is a lot more jam-packed, and as you may have noticed, there's been more team members coming on that are kind of focused in this area in particular, events and activations, and doing a lot more on the ground work. So yeah, I can definitely leave that dangling that there will be more to come there.
If you need help with marketing or community engagement, get a hold of that Cigtoshi guy. He's a freaking wizard.
Yeah, I heard he's pretty good.
His only issue, though, is he has so many issues with jumping in and out of Twitter Spaces because he has bad reception. So we did just lose him. But yes, no. And that's why we've got to be in real life so he can't get rugged. This is exactly what we're talking about. But, I mean, that's music to my ears because I believe that passion is contagious. I live by that saying. And being with this community, every time we're in these spaces, I come out of them and go sit down and reflect, and I couldn't be more excited for the future. And I can't imagine what that would be like if these 170 people are all in person talking about this, where you can see the facial expressions. You can see the Italian in me where my hands are moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. That's what I want to see from every single person here. And it makes it real. Because instead of seeing these PFPs, as much as I love your block bones, Ferg, I want to see Ferg. And I think that's, where Web3, that next step, these in real life events, these exclusive utility with, access to NFTs, that is where things are going to onboard a bunch of new faces, turn the heads around, and I think shift this narrative, bringing it back that there is a future here in this technology, and it's here to stay. So, is there any last thoughts here from our speakers before we just open it up to, any random questions from people in the community? 21, take it away. And 21, you're muted if you're talking. I think we got you rugged, 21. I'm sorry about that. I see Bread is requesting to come up. Mr. Hoddle is requesting to come up, and I also see Blaze. You just requested, to join us. Anything that you have to add to the discussion?
Yeah, what's happening? I'm gonna keep it brief. I haven't ate all day. I'm trying to make this tuna over here, but no, I've been listening in, man. I love what I'm hearing because I'm looking forward to a cross chain bull run, if you will, in these next couple months. I think everybody's understanding or coming to understanding that it's better to have a diversified portfolio. So that's what I'm bullish on right now. I don't know too much about VeChain, but I am liking what I'm hearing, especially with that UFC. I think that's the thing that y'all got going on over there. That's pretty cool. But I do want to ask, what wallet would be the best to use for a newcomer that's coming to VeChain? Because we host a couple spaces, me and my crew, and we had some Cardano people come through a couple of nights ago, and when we asked, it was like more than 10 wallets or that I can remember that they was naming, and none of them was even good. They were saying like it was, well, I wouldn't say not good, but it was a lot of problems that they had with these wallets. So I wanted to ask, have y'all like centered it down to one wallet or a couple wallets, like how you have Phantom as a go-to wallet for Solana, MetaMask for ETH? Have y'all like centered down you guys choice of wallets?
We have one super passionate individual that loves to talk about this. Bread, you're up, man. You're finally getting to make sure somebody doesn't go and get the other wallet. All you, dude.
Thanks, Connor. Dude, live and die by, it's called Sync2. It'll go to either marketplace and click on Connect Wallet, and it'll automatically prompt you for all the software. That's it. Easy peasy.
Sorry, I just muted you. My bad. Bread, keep going. I'm trying to bring up speakers.
Brad was foaming at the mouth.
Brad, I cut you off right where you wanted to share. Brad, keep going.
Yeah, I thought it was Sig doing it. You're good though. Yeah, damn it. Just go to either marketplace. I thought Sig was foaming at the mouth at that. Yeah, man. Either marketplace, World of V or VC. The two leading marketplaces on the chain. Click Connect Wallet. It'll prompt you for Sync2, mobile or desktop. You're off to the races.
Okay, cool. You said World of V or VC is the marketplace?
Yeah, World of V's on stage now, and then VC's down in the crowd. It's got the four-colored logo.
Okay. Cool. Appreciate it. Hey, I think I had seen you, Fred, at the space that we had too, that Cardano space. I posted it down in the comments below. I don't know if you guys mind me posting it to the top. We have a thread with, who's the loudest chain, man? Is it VeChain? Is it Cardano? Who's the loudest chain? Because like I said, I'm bullish on everybody getting together and actually making something happen. It ain't no ETH versus nothing. Like, no, it's the entire fucking blockchain. So yeah, man, we have it's a little bit degen-y, but we come together and we talk some good shit. So if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and post it to the top so everybody can see. And thanks for having me, Connor. Sid.
Blaze, I love it. I am glad you were able to come and interact with the VeChain community. Make sure you check out our amazing marketplaces, and make sure if you're over on VC, you got to check out NFT Paper Project or VKings. You'll see some awesome technical utility in this ecosystem. So make sure you go check that out. But I know we've got a couple other people here. VeChain Foundation, 21 million, and then Mr. Hoddle will continue the discussion.
Thank you. Well, obviously, one thing to add in Q1, I know, ... Q1. There will be one simple name that we can respond to that. It will be wrapping up all the functionality of everything we have right now in one nice little package. And as Vet Mike noted, I've also had the pleasure of testing it out. And yeah, super slick. MetaMask for VeChain. You can have it as a nice little Chrome extension, or eventually however you please, mobile, desktop, etc. So there'll be one word, covers all bases, and integrates and has all the functionality that we have right now, but a lot more. So yeah, that question will be easily answerable in the future.
Brad, you're going to be so happy, man. I can't even imagine. 21, let's hand it over to you.
Appreciate you, man. I apologize. I actually did rug, so just like Satoshi, no matter. I think sometimes we just put a lot of effort into the spaces, man. We end up, rugging and losing service pretty fast. But I did want to say, as a newer member, with World of V, man, coming with the VeChain, I'm an official ambassador when it comes to Chronos. I've been not just in crypto, but in VeChain, in crypto for a while. I've obviously hosted spaces with, both VC, World of V, been hosting even more AMAs now. I think one of the biggest things for me, like we were all saying, is just bringing people over in the adoption, letting people know exactly what's going on with VeChain. I know for me, one of the biggest things was with Ramen Cash, when you guys made the partnership with UFC. Crypto.com and VeChain are both going to be visible to every single, weekend. If you think about it, every single event, I should say. So my biggest thing was getting people that are going to come in and say, okay, these two communities are not only working together, but they're actually a great community where you can come in, anyone can join, and you can actually learn, what's going on in each community, what are we looking for. And this is just something that, again, when it comes to things that I'm hosting with the lobby, when it comes to the games, we've been giving the last tournament that we hosted, we gave a lot of NFTs as well as some vet away, and the amount of people that either opened up a Chronos wallet.
Was it just me? Did I lose him, or did everybody go?
I was thinking the
So
same
that was
thing.
me.
Yeah, I think you rugged. Hey, Fred, can you
21,
hear him?
I think that's your 21, and it was right at the good part, man. 21. We'll wait for you to connect back here, and let's hand it over to Mr. Hoddle.
Yeah, real quick. Thanks, guys. I just wanted to base on the onboarding real quick, because you guys were talking about like going to UFC and onboarding. But realistically, what I see when I look at the best way to onboard people, at least onto the NFT side, for what's being delivered right now for the deliverables, I would consider Comic-Con. That's my honest opinion. If you're going to go somewhere and try and onboard people into the NFT space that we have built at this exact moment, I would definitively work on Comic-Cons. Been looking at Comic-Cons for the past about 16 months, but I just every time there's a Comic-Con in my area, I literally have something else going on. So I'm hoping to get to the next Comic-Con, but I try and get small groups of crypto-minded individuals together, and I think that's the next step. Is a bigger group of people going to something of like Comic-Con stature.
I like Comic-Con too, because honestly, first I'm hearing of that. I don't know if you all have, but that's the first I'm hearing of, let's get some exposure to that community, because it just makes sense. I mean, think about it. Like, that's also a very passionate community, a very tight-knit community that, once one person hears something, it travels pretty quickly. So I like what you're, doing there, Mr. Hoddle, and I'm curious to hear, some of the results from some of these first events you end up going to, hopefully in 2023. So please share with us. And, Ferg, it looks like you have some thoughts too on that.
I was just kind of thinking, since we were talking about NFT NYC and things like that, and Comic Cons just now, like, Brad, question for you: would VC show up to like something like that, and, like, want to do a booth, or would you just, like, is that not something you think is up your all's alley, like Road to V? Would you guys like show up to a Comic Con type thing?
Yeah, no, we've actually discussed that in the past with previous events, and Lever and I have discussed, and even G, he's brought it up on occasion, trying to do community events, stuff together, apart, whatever. But having a physical presence is always important, and if we bring some swag, why not?
You're the man, Brad.
Comic-Con 2023. It sounds like that is potentially something on the horizon. 21 million. I see we got you back. Can you hear us all right?
Perfectly. Hopefully you guys can hear me as well. Get some emojis, man. I guess I jinxed it because I lost the space midway. Basically, what I was just trying to say is that I'm proud to be part of the VeChain community now with on a team with World of V. Like I said earlier, I don't know if you caught it where I caught off, but the amount of people that with the lobby that were able to get into gaming that have downloaded VeChain wallets because of the prizes that we were offering for either first place winners or just giveaways. This is one of those things that's going to take all hands on deck. And I'd love to see, as always, I think not only is the VeChain community tight, but but to see like both marketplaces always kind of working together, how to bring new people over, how to educate the people also that's coming over, I think is a huge thing for me, because there's a lot of chains that just try to take advantage of newcomers, where I think that where Kronos and VeChain stand out is our ability to help and get them in the right place. You know, think about right now, we had somebody come up and just basically ask, Shnat, can you where can we get a wallet? And we took the time in a huge space to actually talk to people where to find all of this information. So for me, this is what's going to make the difference. And I hope that we can all work together throughout this next year and the years that come to make just a better place, not only for crypto, man, but for those that are all like looking to get into it as well. So again, thank you guys for hosting this space. Shout out to all the VeChain holders, VeChain believers, and let's just make a better place again, guys. Thank you very much.
21, well said. Stronger together. And I think that's why this space, we're 3 months into this space. I don't know about you all, but I didn't expect to see 180 people jumping in, every time talking about this and then some. This is great to see. And as long as we continue to do it, as long as we continue to work together, this is going to grow. I'm very confident of that. It's just about consistency and making these steps forward. And I want to make sure that we go back to you, Mr. Hoddle, just because I think that was a great point that you brought up. Anything else that you want to add on there, with what you said earlier?
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of touch the fact that if you look at Comic-Con came first before NFT NYC. The New York Comic-Con, one of the largest ones in the East Coast, I believe they were saying, I don't even want to say the number because it was supposed to be I can't remember the exact number, but it was supposed to be the largest Comic-Con that they've had, because they had to take 2 years off because of COVID. You weren't allowed to have Comic-Con. So they were saying last year was going to be the largest one. Imagine you go to Comic-Con, you have all these people, you teach them about like the lore, you teach them about the art, and then you tell them, hey, look, we have a convention actually coming up in 2 months, like, hey, check this out. It just entry level, the entry level is right there, because you're already in the mix, and you can talk about the next step. Here, boom, come check this out. You really want to get deep into this? You know what I mean? So I just wanted to say that before I sat down.
No, and I think it's great. I mean, I want to see the pictures of Bread actually dressed as that V-King, of G actually dressed as a stoner punk. I mean, that would be unreal. And why not? It would fit in there. That's the best part, is it's ridiculous hearing us say that, but it would actually fit into that community. It would work. So Bread, 2023, man. G, 2023, man. We've got to see it. I'm putting it out there. Ferg, I'm cool with you showing up with the block bones. That's okay, too.
I'll just put a Dutch flag behind me, because this is me.
I love it. I love it. We have some fun. We have some fun here in VeChain. And I know it's been, a long space, and I want to make sure that if anybody has any community questions still, now's the time to come up and speak. Please raise your hand, request to speak. We'll try and get to all of them. But if we don't have any more, I'll round it out with the speakers here, and then we'll get ready to hand it off to Non-Fungible, who will give us kind of a quick summary of 2022. What happened in VeChain? And, what are we looking at ahead? And then we'll go through and we will finish off with the 2022 VeFam Awards. So, speakers, Cigtoshi, kick us off with some final thoughts here, and we'll go around the horn unless, any guests have any questions that want to come up.
No, I mean, real quick, just touching on the importance of establishing relationships across different blockchains and communities. Shout out to 21 Million and Mr. Hoddle. Both of them are here from Kronos. Both have established relationships with people and projects in VeChain. Both have, taken a dive head first and are finding their way because of the powerful community that we have, helping them navigate through it. So shout out to both of them, because they're here providing, ideas, input on how to better our communities and our chains and grow. So shout out to them. StockTwits, shout out to him as well. Like, he's doing so much for us, but we got to continue giving love back to him. So if that just means liking, retweeting, and creating a profile on StockTwits and putting some posts on there, let's do it. Let's do it. Show love to the people that are helping us, because that's how we all grow together.
Oh, yeah.
Which StockTwits, totally forgot to bring this up. And then back to VeChain. We got to look into something with you. One of our ecosystem leaders from Safe Haven brought up a application called Gleam, I believe, that I'm not sure you all are on, but it's for promotion of kind of giveaways within communities. So let's make sure we talk about that and see how we can bring some value back to you as well. Just wanted to build on that, Cigtoshi. And then back over to VeChain, and then Bread.
Oh, I was just hopping on the back of Cigtoshi there, really, just to say, yeah, I will certainly be diving into that. And obviously, StockTwits, I've seen all the content you've been putting out, and yeah, Foundation is always appreciative of coverage. So, thank you very much. We will be over. Get verified and get set up. I guess my own final thoughts, as speaking from Solomon, who obviously is on the account tonight, I've been in the community a very long time, and yeah, it's just really humbling to see everything, this kind of organically led community growth, this cross-chain networking that's been going on so effectively, and like really seeing that community-led growth, because of course that's one of the most important parts of the Web3 environment. It can't just be a top-down approach, because that's the old way, so to speak. Now it's the foundation as this provider of sorts, and of course of the community as well. I think that's the kind of dynamic we're seeing now with the world of business at large. It's like people don't necessarily respect the CEO for just telling, they respect a CEO that does. That's why I think personally Sunny is such a humbling guy, because he'll still get in the trenches every time, and his approach kind of typifies how the VeChain community, the VeChain team works. Obviously Sarah being here, Antonio being here. Yeah, I think, I don't know, I'm rambling, but I think it's from a community standpoint, from my perspective, it's been fantastic to watch. And looking ahead, seeing the people that have been coming on into VeChain, what's being done there, I just think I'm personally super excited for next year. And obviously, you may think I should say that because I'm on this account, but I mean that from a genuinely personal perspective. Multiple ways: technology, but adoption, but also this community like revitalization that we've seen, even in the depths of this kind of bear market. So with this solid, amazing core that is like doing so much great work. So yeah, as the foundation, obviously it's our responsibility to support that and help grow that. And there's definitely a lot of initiative now in 2023 to support these kind of things. So, onwards and upwards, guys and girls.
Onwards and upwards. We love it. Brett, anything to add on there? And then we'll head it over to Vet Mike, and we've got a few other speakers that I'm assuming have questions.
Yeah, I'll tack on to what Solomon just said, and then I have a net new question. So to tack onto that, yes, talking about Sunny as a leader and kind of the initiatives of VeChain, I'm glad to hear that with the new white paper they're going to kind of align themselves with sustainability. I know it's been the push with playing the game, but yeah, I just want to reiterate that that's it's really important that like we have an identity, and if like that is going to be the identity, we have to really align with it, and because like we're not even unique in that, right? You look at Hedera Hashgraph, you look at Algorand, there's several other blockchains that beat the sustainability, carbon neutrality, net neutral drum, right? So we have to make sure that we, even within that world, and I see Solomon's got a response for that, so I'll let you respond to that, and then I have another question.
Well, I think that's an important distinction, and that's something we've been trying to communicate in our marketing efforts, which is it's a sustainable blockchain, but it's not about that per se. That, as you note, is kind of a commonly used like phraseology throughout the space. We are the blockchain that's delivering digital sustainability. So this white paper comes as part of multiple initiatives. It's not just like, hey, we wrote this new white paper. There's a whole series of work that's going to kind of launch at the same time. New major global entity part of that, and the narrative is not just simply a sustainable blockchain, because that doesn't necessarily mean too much. One thing I can say from my own discussions with the professionals we've been working with, they point out that actually VeChain is one of the only organizations that's done a standardized, scientifically verified version. So the CTI report that you may or may not be familiar with. A lot of these other blockchains are very cloudy about how they kind of make their claims around sustainability and energy consumption and whatnot, and are they already factoring in carbon offsetting to these claims of energy consumption? There's very murky record keeping with that. So just as an FYI, but more importantly, the narrative is not just simply a sustainable blockchain, because that isn't differentiating. You're right, it's about the real world adoption, which has always been VeChain's kind of key driver, but that will be the focus of the messaging. It's not just sustainability, it's real world sustainability. And yeah, more to come, of course.
Yeah, I love that. And you're right. Like it shouldn't only, because like all these blockchains these days, and especially with Ethereum being the most prominent now, that's moved to merge and their energy reduction there, and that being the original gate for them to not have adoption, because it was frankly cancer for businesses to be associated with something that was burning up so much energy through their consensus mechanism. But with us using proof of authority and but there's plenty of chains that have low consumption or that neutral, depending on how they calculate their stuff, which may or may not be murky, as you said. But enabling tools for other entities to show that they may be offsetting carbon credits, doing whatever they need to do. That is something that you can get people to align with and has an identity, because that's ultimately what you need. And you can hear it in Sonny's voice when he talks about it. He does, and he has for a while now, expressed the desire to do that stuff, right? Some more almost even philanthropic endeavors, right? He wants those things to be done, and having someone at the top, and even just the brand itself being easily identified with that, you can get people pulled into the ecosystem because they can identify with that and then deal with everything else after, right? The NFT ecosystem, building on whatever, all that stuff comes secondary to the mission, which is that. So I'm really happy to hear that. Yeah, you came off. You're gonna.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm in agreement. I mean, obviously, the focus is on these digital ecosystems, which is a term you may be familiar with. It's been, something been in the works since 2018. So this kind of incentivized ecosystem that rewards participation, and that will be one of the key drivers for sustainability. So of course, yeah, I mean, that stuff's been something VeChain's been working on a long time. So that's an extremely powerful incentive mechanism. The notion of essentially being rewarded for your activities rather than just expecting a certain outcome based on you should do this. So yeah, the narrative will fulfill itself once these other aspects come to light, I think.
Exciting. And I presume that'll be in the white. That'll be in the white paper, I presume.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't say too much, but
so excited.
Yeah,
of course. That's awesome. And then, all right, so then my secondary question, and I don't want.
Sorry.
Yeah. And no, you're good. And I don't want to steal too much time, so I'll just make it quick. I don't know if the people on the stage can answer it, but I would be gored if I didn't at least bring it up. And that is there any initiatives on the roadmap for X nodes that you guys have in mind?
I mean, we can say yes. There's obviously community schemes in the works. I would be remiss to say too much at this point, but of course, X nodes sit at the top of the pile for the community, naturally. So I can't really divulge anything more at this point, but
yeah, I'll let you stop there. Yeah. I know, and I know it's been a balance, right? It's a combination of you created these things so they can be identified by the community and be rewarded. I know, with our platform, anyone who has an X node can actually trade for free, so that's something that we've enabled. But I was wondering if there's anything formal in the works, and I see World of V raise his hand.
I think we've got Vet Mike, but World of V, if you have any thoughts there, we'll go to you first to build off of that.
Yeah.
Vet Mike's got a new question.
Just wanted to with what Brett was mentioning about DEX nodes. I mean, the majority of you know I created this private Telegram group with all the X nodes, and it's a lot of OG there, including myself with the node since 2017. Would be very nice to hear more about it. And actually, I also wanted to thank Vet Mike for the video tutorial that he made, where he shows basically how to move the X node from one address to the other. But yeah, would be really good if there would be something happening for the X nodes, because the majority of the X nodes are feeling a bit left there. So I believe it's very important to give all of them more light, let's say, also because I consider, and actually we all consider the X nodes the backbone of the community. So that will be very nice. We can't wait, we really can't wait for the new white paper. And but yeah, thank you.
But Mike, anything to add on there? And then of course bringing in your new question that I'm assuming you have.
Yeah, I will be having an announcement and a question about a different topic. So if there's anyone that wants to comment or ask a question about the current one, please just interrupt me. I will take the silence as a no. So the first thing is that we have been listening to you, and we are kicking off the new year with a new featuring Force Day on Thursday, the 5th of January, start at the same time as this space started, which is 8 p.m. UTC, and it will be hosted by the Thursday host, Virtual Flame. I will be co-host, and the topic will be hashtag VeChain has NFTs, and we will have World of V, VC, and Black V Market all three there as our guests, actually. And I will not talk too much about the details because, of course, we want you to join the space next week. But I have a question related to that. And the question is for Cigtoshi. I've heard from some people that you are an awesome co-host. So I would be really honored if you would want to be co-host alongside me with Thursday next week.
Dude, good luck saying no to that right now on the stage.
Let me see. Let me
Pressure.
check my schedule. Yeah, I'm in. No, I'm on. That's awesome. Yeah, count me in.
Okay, then contract signed. See you next week.
This is a recorded space. You can't get out of that now. But I don't know about you all. I'm for Thursdays to be coming back, and I love to hear that it's you, Virtual Fame, and then we've got Cigtoshi join us. That's going to be great. I'm looking forward to seeing what those bring in 2023, because I know that was one of the core action items we talked about on the actual last version of this space, that, hey, we wanted to bring those back. And community, we heard you. They're coming back. So that is awesome. Any other things that you want to add on there, Vet Mike? Otherwise, we'll hand it over to Killa and then Jay to the.
Oh, I was done. Go ahead.
Killa, any questions that you have?
Hey guys, happy to be here. Great space. No, I have not a question, but I have something to say about onboarding new people. I have been saying it already 1,000,000 times, but I think today is a great moment to say it. If you set up a wallet with Sync2, you need to back up your seed manual. If you don't do it and you lost, you can't access your NFTs anymore. I've been here from day one. I've seen it a lot, too many times. So I think we need to be careful to say to use Sync. I agree with you, Brett. I agree. It's better to use Sync, but we need to be careful with that. For the rest, I'm more bullish than ever with Stockwitch here. VeChain Foundation. I think we can for sure squeeze more the UFC collabs out with some kind of collabs or some things where we can benefit all of. For the rest, thank you all guys for all the efforts. 2023 will be our year. In name of Killa and VPunks, I wish everybody a happy 2023.
VPunks, Killa, a bunch of legends of the VeChain NFT ecosystem. I'm excited to see some more record-breaking sales in 2023. Love to hear it, team. Jay to the. I know we've had you up here for a bit. Any questions that you have for VeChain in the community here? And then we'll hand it over to Top Shelf.
Hello? Sorry. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Really enjoying the space tonight. The question that I have is, I would love to see maybe like beginner's guides or tutorials on NFTs, because I think the biggest problem that I find is because I don't actually know too much about NFTs. If you guys did videos on how to create NFTs on VeChain, that would be the best form of advertising, because if people use it and they understand it, they will tell other people. So I'd love to see that.
I love that point. And I think that's something that we're having some of these leaders like Vet Mike work on. And it's just now about amplifying that and getting more people to go share some of these educational materials that are coming. And it sounds like the foundation is also going to be working on that too. So yes, I think those videos are key. And I saw somebody mention something in the chat that I want to bring up too, is, hey, this white paper is coming. But I guarantee you 150 people in this space, not every single person is going to read it. Some people are going to be hoping that, hey, can somebody give me the high level updates? Well, what's that 1 minute, 2 minute video, and who's that person that can create that educational content to talk about it? Same thing with basically everything that's happening in this ecosystem. So I think that that's a need that people are starting to fulfill. It's just making sure we continue talking about it and working toward it is going to be how we solve that. And I think people like Vet Mike are already taking action. So if you're not following Vet Mike, Jay to the, I highly encourage it. Subscribe to that YouTube, because that educational content, that's top tier. That's the top tier stuff in VeChain right now, and we're trying to do more of it. Anything else there that you have, Jay to the, to add on to that? And hopefully that answers your question.
No, that's great. I do follow Vet Mike, so I'll look out for some videos. Thanks.
Awesome. I love it. We'll hand it over to Top Shelf and then No Nerds.
Yo. So yeah, man, I actually do have two questions. The first one was so when you guys do these big events or live meetup events and stuff, I thought it'd be cool maybe to see some flyers out there, or I don't know if you guys were talking about the booth stuff already, but I got lucky enough to win some tickets through signing up through your guys' giveaway. entering the wallet, VeChain wallet, and the email and stuff. So I was already gonna just meet the crew out there. I got to meet Cigtoshi live, Shamrock, a bunch of the VeFam, and it was a really dope experience. And I can't wait for this next one for March. But I would love to see, like, yeah, like maybe get something. I'm even down to volunteer to work like at a booth or whatever, be there handing out flyers, whatever you need me to do. But I'd love to be, get more of that stuff out there, and even if it's a simple barcode or whatever, or like a little 1 minute video, and that goes to a video like J2J said, so it's just easy. They can visualize it, and then we could just help them there live as well. I don't know what you guys are thoughts on that, VeChain Foundation, Antonio. And then
Foundation, or do you want them to jump in now, or you got a second point?
I do have a second question real quick before I forget, and I have to get ready for work. The second one is, what do you guys personally think on the NFT side, right? Like, I'm just a DJ in here. Like, I represent I just throw random spaces in general and just go crazy and try to onboard people that way sometimes by them coming into spaces as well. But what do you guys personally think of NFTs and what's been built here on VeChain? Like, did you guys ever expect like NFTs coming on here on VeChain at all? Like, was that any part of you guys' vision at all? Like seeing all these random pictures of art right here?
Well,
Foundation,
yeah, I guess
Antonio, any thoughts?
I can hop on that first part. So obviously, so sorry, did you say you went to UFC 282? Was that right? The most recent event?
Yeah, man, it was awesome. Man.
Yeah,
It was a dope experience. Yeah, it was sick.
nice, man. Yeah, I did. I saw a bunch of pictures from it. Like, it looked like the guys had a great time. I actually just made a note of that. I think, it's a powerful thing to just have kind of a simple kind of barcode, that links to some informational video. I think that could certainly be a cost-effective and like easy kind of direction to push. I don't know if you guys follow my Instagram. We've got a new creative marketer, very talented lady, and she's been doing a lot of like simple snippets, right? So what is POA? How does POA compare to other blockchains? That's definitely something VeChain will be doing a lot more of, because we've always done quite high level like literature, and I think there needs to be that more digestible soundbite. So on that front, I think it's definitely something we would be keen to pursue from like a communications level, and leveraging the power of the community again. Like it looked like you guys had an awesome time, and people getting involved with that energy, and you've been like, hey, we're part of the VeChain community. It's such an easy and like effective method of kind of expanding reach. So I like the idea. I've made a note of that to discuss next week. The second question.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you there, man. But yeah, it was so awesome when we took like the group picture before the meetup. When we got into the stadium, we were like, screaming VeChain, and got random people coming through. I think you know the story better, right, Cigtoshi? Like they just came up random, like, oh hey, I have VeChain, and it was just dope to like see that live right there happening. Like, oh, these guys just randomly like, oh, you guys are VeChain, and yeah, it's dope. It's dope to represent them live, not only just through the digital and PFP stuff, right? So yeah, definitely.
100%. Yeah, I heard about that. Was that pre-patch? Basically, some kind of bar, and there's a bit of a meetup, and then everyone just kind of coming together. I mean, that just shows the power of, again, being there in person. Obviously, the COVID environment kind of stunted that for a long time, and now we're able to spread our wings in events and in person again. And I can speak from my own experiences at ATP, where we were meeting loads and loads of VIPs, and just having the ability to sit down, and rather than they go, ooh, that is crypto, and they kind of miss the they miss what we are, because all they understand is this perception of crypto, and you're like, oh, hang on, this could be applied in all these different ways. And if you can't have that discussion with someone that's knowledgeable, that detracts from the ability for that person to then take away something meaningful from it. So yeah, in person is the best way, 100%. Love your idea. Thank you. I will be making a note of that. On the second question, yeah, it's interesting because obviously VeChain's had NFTs. It's actually one of the first blockchains to even issue NFTs, or like a very early kind of user of the technology. I mean, you may be aware, but DNV, huge global certification company, they issue all their kind of ISO certifications and various kind of things that they issue to companies as NFTs. And obviously we had X nodes, which themselves were, one of the first kind of examples of NFTs. I mean, it's great to see the community spin up and run away with the technology as well, because of course, that's such a key part. I mean, I'm kind of speaking from this community angle. I personally loved the industrial applications, and to me, it makes complete sense. It's a unique tool identifier. But then seeing this kind of community running away with it as well, and now building up this vibrant ecosystem, which is so important in and of itself, for me, it's been an amazing thing to witness. So, VeChain has this real world now, like application that is powerful, but a blockchain needs a community, and seeing everyone come along and build and build what's here now and obviously what's to come is that's also amazing to watch.
VeChain has NFTs.
Yeah.
You didn't know it, you do now.
It's got all
Okay,
the
let's get to the real meat and potatoes that I like to steal from Ferg's brother Flame. So, what NFT up here you like the most out of here? Which one do you have in your collection? What's in your bag, VeChain Foundation? Yeah, I think the community would love
I
to hear
can't
that.
answer that. As Solomon,
You said check it in the DMs. You said okay. I'll check in the DMs. You got to follow me first.
All right, yeah,
You've got him on his heels right now, Top Shelf. You've got him on his heels, man.
I mean,
I support all NFTs and all projects.
Oh, let's go! You have everyone. Let's go. Yo, bullish man, bullish on VeChain. I love it, man. This is awesome. Yes.
Yeah, man. Good to meet you.
We love it, Top Shelf. Top Shelf, always great having your energy up in this space and in all of the spaces we have you in. Appreciate everything you're doing over at Division and for the ecosystem, my friend. Any last thoughts from you before we hand it over to No Nerds and then Amphi to Collective to probably round before we head over to the last section?
Yeah, I just want to give flowers to everybody that's come up here, all the hosts, co-hosts that are up here. You guys are awesome. I don't think we would be able to have these spaces like this if you guys didn't organize it. It's a lot of work. A lot of people think this is not work, but this is tough, man. It's hard organizing all this stuff, and it does become work and hectic. So major shout out to you guys and all the founders and co-founders of every company up here that you guys been grinding this whole more than a year, but like I've been in the year for a year, so I always say a year, but like you guys been here longer. You guys are OGs, and I can't wait to see what 2023 brings us. If it's more blood, if it's bullish, whatever. As long as we're here, we continue to build and help grow each other and expand. I think this is it. I love the cross chain energy also that we've gotten. We've gotten out of that bubble because at one time we were pretty much VeChain only type attitude, but then once we start seeing one person branch out and another person, we're like, okay, it's okay. It's okay to branch out. So yeah, this cross chain energy is awesome. Now I have NFTs from multiple chains, and I'm still VeChain is my home, and VeChain I'm still gonna rep, and but like I'm open minded now and open to all these chains and these projects and stuff. So I just want to give flowers to everybody here, and you guys are awesome, and let's continue to grow.
Right back at you, Top Shelf. You're one of those leaders, and cross chain is the future. Love to hear it. No Nerds, anything that you've got here?
Yo, guys, right. Yeah, listen, I couldn't really pass up the opportunity to give Tricky a shout out. Going back to the tutorial videos point, he actually did a whole run of tutorial videos. This is the little shameless shill, but they're all in our Discord in the tutorial section. But yeah, he did a really good job on them, all like 2-minute videos for everything to do with NFTs.
See, this is the stuff I love to hear about, and we need to, as a community, do a better job, I think, promoting these types of videos, because this is the educational material we need. And so I think that's one of the call to actions to everybody here is when you see these videos from people like Vet Mike, from people like Trippy that are making this educational content, let's make sure we're supporting it. Let's make sure to amplify that message and show our followers, what is happening. So I think that's great, No Nerds. And anything else that you want to add on to it?
My only other point would be they are also on his YouTube. Like, go ahead and subscribe to him there. We would appreciate that.
Get those subscriptions up, VeFam. We roll deep. I expect to see him.
And just to add on, and sorry, just to add on to that with the trick, I did post it up top. He also did a website to where you can see all the spaces that are coming up weekly. And if you do plan on doing spaces, you could reach out to him, and he'll add it onto the weekly space. And now that way, everybody gets to know like what's happening during the week. What spaces are scheduled, and that way, maybe if you're planning a space, go check that out first, so you're not interrupting it, or maybe you guys can talk it out if it interferes with yours. You guys maybe can collab. I think it's best like if your hours with another hours like don't work, maybe collab, do a 2 space in 1. I think that would be better than having multiple spaces. Maybe once we get huger it'd be dope, right? A bunch of spaces, but that we're a little small. I think maybe collabing more, doing these co-host spaces is a lot more than just 2 multiple spaces going at once. But that's just my 2 cents.
Well, and it's a lot of fun when you see 70, 80, 100 plus people in there versus 15 or 20. Double it up, hear what's going on in another project. So I think that's a great point. And, hey, we're still small. It's okay to, double up on some of these. We are going to get to one point eventually where, hey, you're going to have to pick and choose. And I can't wait for that day. But I think we're still a little far from it. We've got some work to do. Well, any other thoughts there on this point before handing it over to Amphi Collective to bring us home? Amphi, take it away.
Cool. Yeah, it's actually super relevant to the YouTube video talk. On my to-do list for quite a while, admittedly, I've had a plan to make a YouTube video called VeChain has NFTs. And I really want to get that done soon and make it very quality, because if you can put out a really quality video, especially on a topic like this, videos on YouTube can take off after a couple years when certain search key like terms are changing trend wise. So I basically want to extend like an offer to the community. Anyone, I think multiple minds are better than mine, especially admittedly mine's been a bit scattered lately, to kind of just make sure we have everything that I should mention in a quality VeChain has NFTs YouTube video, regardless of the marketplaces, the ecosystems, but even just key points of VeChain. I don't want to leave out anything mentioning certain technical factors that should be mentioned in the video, ease of access of wallets, or even some of the more enterprise like goals that the foundation has, whether it's medical NFTs or anything else. So if anyone wants to basically help me formulate some bullet points and just make sure I have all of the key notes down, we could all pick apart and create a quality video. And then moving forward, I mean, the community can even come together and start repurposing some of that type of stuff. If there's multiple content creators in the ecosystem, you can take a YouTube video and pick it apart, add captions to it, then start a VeChain NFT TikTok and start spamming those. I mean, there's a lot of little ways to attack that. So if anyone wants to help me make sure I have the main bullet points down, my DMs are definitely open.
I encourage you also to post that in the Project Leaders Discord. Use that channel also as an avenue of collaboration as well for this. I really think that that Discord can evolve over 2023 with different people. It doesn't even have to be tied to a project. It could be just community members that are running initiatives that want more eyes on it, want support. I think this Discord can really evolve to bring everyone together to collectively grow. So I encourage you to post it in there, and I encourage everybody on this call to please DM Amphi and provide some feedback on what you want to see.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah, I will get on that and send a message in the Discord and drag it to the top, since my Discord's a bit messy, and I will be checking in there frequently.
Let's make it happen. Well, is there any last questions from the community here? Otherwise, we'll head over to our final section, the VeFam Awards, and we'll get ready to kick things off here with an awesome update, non-fungible news, which is the pinned tweet up at the top. For those that don't know, Non-Fungible News is a unbelievable community member here in VeChain that is making sure, one, he interviews a bunch of different individuals within this ecosystem to spotlight them, but also share all of the amazing things that are happening here with his network and with everyone that might not be able to be in every single Discord. So Non-Fungible, I don't know if you are available, but I believe you were going to give a quick end of year summary if you're free right now. Do we got you free here? I don't think we do, potentially. So while we're waiting for that, anyone have any final thoughts as we get ready to, kind of wrap up the space here and head into the VeFam Awards? We'll go around the horn for one last time. We'll start with our co-hosts here, Cigtoshi and Ferg. Cigtoshi, anything to kind of wrap up the spaces with before the VeFam Awards?
I just think we all have a lot of good ideas and direction. It's just a matter of organizing it and putting it into action. I think we're all on the same page on what our end goals are here and what we want to see. And we just need to continue working together to make it happen. I love coming together as an entire ecosystem on these spaces monthly. So always looking forward to the next one. But in the meantime, let's all get out there and do some things to help grow the space. So that when we look back, we can say, hey, we achieved this, that, and the other. And also I just want to wish everybody a happy new year. So much love. That's it.
Yeah, I'll be the broken record. Keep liking, keep retweeting, keep joining spaces, keep talking about VeChain. Use the talking points that we've talked about over the last 3 spaces. And something else. I kind of want to shout out. I think he's in here. There he is, Snoozy, for learning. He's been learning smart contracts and things like that, and he's kind of inspired me. And also talking with Data, I'm going to start learning some technical stuff too. I'm going to start learning some Python and then maybe start learning some smart contract stuff. So I would encourage everyone else to get your hands dirty a little bit. If you have the spare time, just log on to something, look up some videos on YouTube, and start learning something, and get your hands dirty within the space.
Get those boots on the ground, touch some grass, get those hands dirty. Let's make some moves. Brett, anything you have to add here as we get ready to wrap up? Then we'll head over to G.
No, just want to give a huge thanks to Solomon and Antonio and just everyone for coming out here and giving us some little insight into what's being done behind the scenes. I know it's always tough to one, attend these things, because I think Antonio and I share, actually I think all three of us share time zones, so it gets a little late here doing this stuff. But yeah, and then obviously sharing information without oversharing information, doing that dance. It's never a fun process, but just want to let you guys know that we appreciate you guys, and I look forward to more of these conversations.
G, anything to add on?
Thanks for organizing the space again. My voice is going bad, but Happy New Year, and keep rating Twitter. We're a small community. We're loud, so keep it up. It helps. You see people come in because they see we're freaking loud and shouting, so let's keep it up.
Speaking of being loud and shouting, for those of you that don't know, Vanonymous wanted me to let you all know, which awesome project on VeChain, there is a giveaway going on in the comments of this space right now. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Shout out to Vanonymous. Hand it over to No Nerds and then Amphi. No Nerds, muted if you're talking.
Sorry, dude. I was just finishing a game. Yeah, not much to add, to be honest. Just everyone's killing it, to be honest. I see a lot of the moves that people are making. I love it. I love the way that VeChain NFTs are going, and I just love the whole community behind it, especially all this cross-chain activity as well. It's really good to see. But yeah, I'm just hoping next year will be a little greener overall.
Yes, sir. I think we all do. Amphi, anything that you want to add here?
Yeah, I mean, nothing absolutely revolutionary that anyone hasn't already said, but I think if you look here, you'll see the people who are really serious about this space in the deep depths of a bear market. And I don't know, I'm pretty optimistic, and I think the foundation, as much as we want to push PFP, NFTs, and all this stuff, the foundation has their own vision in terms of what they're trying to bring in enterprise adoption. And I think a lot of it has to just do with market cycles and patience. Not to say that we shouldn't keep them accountable and try to build to the best of our ability as well. But I think we just need to stay aware that they have their own vision. I'm pretty optimistic of what's to come. And if we stick together as a community, that will only help the effort.
Damn right. Well said, my friend. Vet Mike, anything to add on here? And then we got, two new individuals, Flame and Psycho Beast, who are, awesome ecosystem leaders that we'll have close some thoughts to.
Yeah, I want to add a little bit to Ferg's story about Snoozy. I've been seeing more people getting interested in development on VeChain or using on-chain data for apps or Discord bots or something else. And I just wanted to add that is a result of this community. You guys are inspiring these people to get the motivation to start learning new things, new skills. And eventually one of those people, one of those persons will get really good at it, and they will get a really good idea. And they might start working for a big company and creating a really good app or a really good use case for VeChain or maybe some other chain. That doesn't really matter. But that is the result of this community coming together and talking about VeChain and blockchain in general all the time. And that's just something that I want to let you guys sink in, that's the fruit you are bearing. That's the result of your hard work each and every day.
Passion is contagious, and we got a damn passionate community here in VeChain. So I love to hear it, Vet Mike. Well, thanks to a lot of the work that you and other leaders have been doing. Psycho Beast and then Flame. Let's close it out here. Any final thoughts before we hand it over to VeChain and do the VeFam Awards?
Hey guys, I just want to come up and tell you guys, awesome space, always learning a lot. The team couldn't be here, but your boy Loco's up here, Satoshi, Ferg, Connor, love hearing, every space you guys have. Like I just said, flowers to you guys. You guys are putting VeChain on the map. Let's take it to 2023. big things coming. Brad, World of V, even though Black Market is finally up. So 2023, that's gonna be our year. I'm telling you guys.
2023, let's make it happen. And we got a little teaser earlier, Flame. I hear you're going to be doing some Thursdays moving forward. Very excited for that, my man. Welcome to closing up the space. Any final thoughts from you here? Otherwise, we'll be listening to you like a week.
Yeah, man, excited to jump back into the Thursday. Anybody who hasn't heard of that, that's a show we do every Thursday on, I believe it's normally the Foundation or Community Hub Twitter, and we just have different projects, hacking AI, Safe Haven, all types of awesome projects, marketplaces, things like that. First order of business, Connor, dude, PFP has got to go. I think we're all in agreement here. I think everyone on the panel would take my side here. It's time to put a Stoner Punk on there or a V King. Something's got to happen.
I'll speak to that. I know I've got to do something. I think I'm going to end up working with. We've got some amazing artists in this ecosystem. I'm going to end up doing some kind of NFT with some of these artists. Maybe it's a combo, but we'll do something. It'll be changed to 2023. My word.
Okay. Second order of business. Big congratulations to the host and co-host of this space. Connor, you do a great job hosting. I actually have intentionally not came up on the panel the first two shows just to kind of hear what you do and how you do it. So it's been a pleasure watching you guys kind of have fun up here. Ferg, great co-hosting abilities. I don't know, maybe you learned a little bit of that at the Flame Space. I'm not here to take credit for that right now. And that Sappy Seal dude, I'm not sure, Cigtoshi, whoever that dude is, he's pretty chill, I guess, as well. The reason I came up here, guys, I'm getting to it. I'm pinning a tweet at the top. We've been having this community member named Praise host a Twitter space. I think it's been going on for like 5 days straight now or something insane like that. And he's going all the way till New Year's. It's a environment a little bit different than this one. You can just hop up on the panel, talk about your favorite YouTube creator, talk about your favorite VeChain NFT, talk about how much you hate Solana, whatever it is that you feel like talking about. Very open dialogue, very degen environment. So anybody out here who maybe just only comes to Connor's spaces or only sees what the foundation is doing, there is a seedy underbelly community that is always degening out, and definitely follow Praise and join that space after this one. I'll be in there hanging out and doing degen stuff. So that's all I want to do is promote a community member. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, co-host.
Much love, Flame. Can we get some hearts in the chat for Flame and our 2023 Thursday co-host? Flame, super excited to see what you and the team accomplish, and I will be tuning in. Well, hey, without further ado, we had an awesome space. We are almost right on time, which I didn't see coming. But we're going to go a little bit over to kick off the VeFam Awards. And we're going to kick things off with non-fungible news, sharing a quick 2022 update of what happened here in the VeChain ecosystem. So non-fungible, we'll hand it off to you. And VeChain, don't worry, didn't forget about you. You're going to close us out here tonight. Non-fungible, anything, I guess you want to kick off the update?
Can you hear me?
We've got you, my man.
Cool. Thanks for hosting this space. This is the third one, and it's been huge and extremely beneficial to our community and to others too, because you see from a lot of different communities, Ethereum, Solana, so on and so forth, that VeChain offers a lot that other chains just don't offer. You're seeing it with VC, you're seeing it with World of V. And for anybody that's been here since last year at this time, you've seen the growth. You've seen the incredible changes that have come on VC, on World of V, on Black V, which is live now, the 2.0 Black V. And big shout out to Matt, excuse me, because he has not given up in 12 months. He's been fighting, been struggling, all kinds of real life stuff and problems with upgrading the marketplace. And he has come through, has a live, usable marketplace. So anybody that has not checked that, I would implore you to go do so, because we all know World of V, we all know VC, but not everybody knows Black V. So anyway, that was another huge thing. With the VC, I haven't heard Brad pumping his own bag, so I'll do it for him. They're with their staking, their arcade, everything. It's just a top-notch platform, and World of V as well with everything that they've put into play. VC just hit 100 million vet in sales. That's 1.6 million in today's US dollars. I put out a tweet yesterday that would have been a measly 28 million US dollar at our all-time high, which one day we'll get back to that. And World of V is right up there too. They're getting close, I believe. I just looked in their Discord a little bit ago. They're getting close to 100 million in sales too. And then VPunks is done a lot on their marketplace as well. For anybody that has overlooked VPunk's marketplace, it is 100% feeless. So if you list a VPunk for 10,000 vet, you're going to get 10,000 vet. And that's just the way that they do it. And then, I've ventured over. I like the cross-chain stuff, but I see, too, for myself and hear from my own peers and other cross-chain people that, yes, our marketplaces are top tier. So, I can't wait to see where they go in 2023 with, they're not stopping. Bread's in spaces 24/7. I don't think the guy sleeps. He apparently likes sweet potato fries, so I'm not overly bullish on him right now. But either way, he's doing a great job. And I want to point out, too, that, there's a lot of projects launched in the first half of the year. And a lot of projects were over-promising and under-delivering. And we have people like Virtual Flame Studios picking up the slack on some of those projects, and that's not easy to do. So, big shout out to those guys for doing that. They don't have to pick up rugs and try to bring them back to life, but they do for the benefit of the community. But anyway, we're seeing the minting kind of slow down a little bit, and I think it's because there's a lot more maturing going on in our space. VKing's time of minting, they went quick. Same with World of V Genesis. VGhosts, that was a whole nother debacle. Then we got the Mad V Apes, and that was a slow mint out. That was a little over a year ago. I think that was like 5 days or something. Well, then the hype train, and everybody was like, "Oh, shit! What did I miss? What have I done?" So now everything from that point forward, everybody was just going nutso, all in minting, and we like to take one another's word, but a lot of these play to earn games and stuff were kind of big nothing burgers. I hate to say it, but it's true, and I think the space is maturing and people are seeing, okay, well, we're gonna take that DYOR hashtag into true consideration, and I think creators are seeing that too, and they're actually wanting to deliver something, not turnkey, but something that is everything that they promised right off the get-go without being a full-on degen, but just having something good to offer. So we're seeing a lot of growth, a lot of maturation, and it's been a beautiful year to watch it all grow. And I will say that of all the P2E games, VPunks, and we don't know the founder, they're behind the scenes and doing what they do. VPunks has had a fully functional play-to-earn game for, I believe, this whole year. And for anybody that hasn't played it, it is damn near impossible to beat, but it's addicting, it's fun, and you make money. And there's a lot of places to make free passive income, free quote unquote, because you have to make your initial investment. But from World of V to VC to VPunks, No Nerds Inc., so many different places. So yeah, it's been so much going on. Bit of a long-winded speech I had there. I didn't plan for that, so thank you. And then Taylor, my partner, will probably kill me if I don't say anything, but appreciate the shout-outs on what we're doing with our website, with our YouTube and everything. So we're trying to be a good resource for the whole community, for anybody onboarding to VeChain. We put out the tutorial videos. They're not the highest of quality, but we're we're just like a lot of people, just starting from the ground up, from scratch, and building our way along. So appreciate everybody's support. It's been crazy.
And to think we're still just getting started, it's kind of weird to think about. Non-fungible, thank you for the summary of 2022. Can we get some hearts in the chat for non-fungible? And make sure if you are not following him already, you change that right now. He is an awesome, awesome source of information for what is happening in this ecosystem. And I'm excited for all of the updates he gets to bring here in 2023. Now, we are going to get ready to jump into the VeFam Awards, but we have another community member that jumped up that I do want to give a shout out, who has been doing some great things. Chudnovsky, I know you've got your hand up here. Is there any last thoughts that you would like to have here before we go into some of these announcements of our winners?
Hey, thank you guys. Thank you for hosting the space. I just want to take a quick 60 seconds. So first off, I want to piggyback off of what Flame said. We got to make sure that we support our smaller community members tirelessly day in and day out for us. We've had some community members like Lucio and Skinny who used to host spaces, poetry slams, rap battles, all different types of things to bring us together. And they're not doing it anymore. There's reasons why, right? We need to support these people. We need to make sure we're helping them. Praise is just filling in and doing his best to help the community. And we need to make sure we support that, like Flame said. And even support Flame, right? He's been going since day one on his Flame space. Even got in good with the VeChain Foundation to do Thursday. We really need to make sure we support these people. I know some people might not like some of the formats, but I'm telling you, you show in sometimes at 6 a.m. and you see people grateful to the conversation and just talk to people throughout all time zones. So these people are doing great work. Just don't forget about them. We all show up to this one and Cigtoshi's and we put up hundreds of people, but then we leave those other ones behind. That's where we get a lot of this growth, is when you see the constant support, not just the one and dones just because we want to show ourselves, right? And if you are a project, don't just show up to these spaces just because they're a big one. I'm seeing it all the time. This project just comes for this event. You show up, be a part of the community. We talk about community, but we don't actually act on it. So I'm just going to stop there because in all reality, it's just going to be a tangent. But really dive in, be there for the small guys because they're the ones who do the dirt. I promise you, they're the ones who when someone's confused, has a question, they go to them and they all try and get help from them. And all they do is support everybody. They'll mention World of V, they'll mention VC, they'll mention every fucking project. Sorry for swearing, but you guys got to support them, not just these big ones, just because it makes you look cooler that you showed up on a speaker panel. Be there and support them. I'm sorry, I'm done.
No, I think that was extremely well said. And I think that's why this space was put together. We had so many things happening in this ecosystem in silos that some people didn't even know they were happening. And so having this space bring these people together and make sure everybody knows that this ecosystem is growing. VeChain has NFTs, and there are awesome leaders you can listen to here. Yeah, it is more than just a monthly space here, a cross-chain space with Cigtoshi, or even Thursday. There are so many other spaces happening all the time that bring incredible information to this ecosystem and community. And speaking of some of these individuals behind the scenes that do some of this legwork and dirty work, we've got the VeFam Awards, and it wouldn't be possible for VCalendar, who really has brought it together for the second year to make it happen. And so VCalendar is an account that is really responsible for running these VeFam Awards, putting this together and organizing it. So make sure you're giving that individual a follow and a shout out. And the same thing with our artists who actually designed some NFTs as trophies this year. So our winners are actually going to get trophies that they can hold for to say in 2022, I did this in one of the leading blockchain ecosystems on the face of the planet. And so shout out to our artists that put in this effort to make this happen. Imzi, Murtaugh, Secret Escape, and Handy Wormhole. Give some hearts in the chat for our 4 artists that kind of put this together and made sure our winners don't just get the pat on the back. They get something they get to hold forever, and something that they are definitely not going to forget. And so without further ado, let's jump in to some of the shout outs for our winners. And yes, winners, you got to give a quick speech. So I am going to put that out there. You got to give a quick speech. So we're going to start with the best platform. Now we have 4 platforms out there that were nominated for this, and it was a very close race. But we had one platform that came out on top that won the VeFam Awards. And that winner, without further ado, is the one, the only, VC. Congratulations, VC, on winning 2022 Platform of the Year within VeChain. You know, Brad, I know we have you up here. Is there any you would like to say on behalf of your team, on behalf of VC, you know, accepting this award that was voted on by the community?
I mean, it's pretty easy, right? Voted on the community. We're building it for the community. So I'm happy there's some reciprocal stuff going on there. I mean, yeah, I try to spend time with you guys. It's obviously not just me. I'm kind of just the one that gets to spend time with you guys, get the feedback and throw it back. But I don't even know. Yeah, Emmett's down there, Shrimp, He-Man. Just it takes a village. So thank you. Appreciate it. Humbled.
Let's get some hearts in the chat for one of our amazing marketplaces and the winner of Marketplace of the Year, VC. Congratulations, team. Extremely proud of what you've accomplished and excited for 2023. But we've not only got a Best Marketplace winner, we've also got a Project of the Year. And that Project of the Year is actually winning this award for a second year in a row. Huge shout out to Mad V Apes for winning VeChain's Project of the Year award. And I don't know if you'll have Nero in here, you know, to come accept the award and speak, but I know we do have Cigtoshi. Cigtoshi, our co-host, is there anything that you would like to say on behalf of the Mad V Apes team for winning this award for this second year in a row?
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, considering how many great books are being built and how many great communities are growing and getting out there, like it's an honor. It's the work isn't done yet though, right? Like we still have a lot of plans and a lot coming out in 2023, but it all goes back to the community. They're awesome. They support us. They are rooting for us, and that doesn't just go for like MVA community. That goes for the entire ecosystem. Like I appreciate the support. Like I appreciate the retweets on, because I mean you guys see me out there, you know, whispering in everyone's ear about Mad V Apes, and you guys help out. You guys help out with the retweets, and that means a lot. So like this isn't, you know, it means a lot, but it's really all about the community. So thank you, and shout out to all the other projects, nominated or not. Like there are some great projects being built. So much love, everybody.
And you know it's going to get tougher and tougher to win this shit as we continue to grow. So congratulations to the Mad V Apes team. Excited to see them win Best Project of the Year for 2022. We also have an award for our Best Artist of 2022. And there were a ton of artists nominated. I have to put that out there. It was absolutely crazy impressive to see the amount of individuals nominated by people within the community. But we had one come out on top. And that one individual is actually here in the chat with us. And I'm going to put him on the spot. So congratulations to our Artist of the Year 2022, Lanes, for winning the VeFam Awards. Congratulations. And if you would like to come up and speak, you are more than welcome to. I know we're putting you on the spot, but just sent out an invite. It is very well deserved. And congratulations on winning this award. You had a lot of competition. I'll put it out there.
While we're waiting, could you maybe give us some, like, do you have some numbers in front of you? It was like, how many votes did she get versus the second place?
So let me see if I can pull some of this up quickly. I know we had over 125 votes come in. So we had 125 people nominating in every single category to make this happen from across the ecosystem. But I don't have it in front of me right now. I do know there was well over 15 to 20 people nominated for, I believe, this category, as well as Personality of the Year. So extremely well-deserved, Lanes. Congratulations. Now, we've got two more awards left. And this one, I think, is a really fun one. Best Disruptive Idea. There were some incredible innovations that happened this year within the VeChain NFT ecosystem. But one of them stood out. And one of them got a lot of votes. I don't think this is going to be a huge surprise to a lot of people. Like I said, we have some awesome innovators. But this one, I haven't seen a lot like it. Huge shout out to 3Dables by Smuzzies for winning Best Disruptive Idea of 2022. Smuzzies, if you would like, we would love to have you come up here, accept that award.
He better get up here.
Give a little speech. I know we're putting you on the spot, but I do see you out there in the audience. So up to you if you want to say anything and accept the award. We are going to put you on the spot. Because I think everybody here has at least interacted with it a little. It is an
100%.
incredible,
Is he
incredible
is he
idea.
hitting you guys with a request yet?
He hasn't hit us, so I think he's hiding.
All
Oh,
right,
there
well, I'm
he
gonna.
is. There
Yes.
he is.
Okay. Good.
Smuzzies, congratulations, my friend. Welcome to the space. Congratulations on winning 2022 Best Disruptive Idea. Anything that you have to say on behalf of the team?
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It sounds like a bad thing, but we'll take it as a good thing. Just want to say the team, that's where it all goes to. Stelion and Milos. That's who you voted for. Lots of things to come. A couple of big announcements coming in the first of the year. So stay tuned, and thank you, everybody, for your support.
Can we get some hearts in the chats for Smuzzies? Unbelievable project. Well-deserved. I am super excited to see what you all bring in 2023. Brad, anything to add?
Yeah, I just want to we have a big room here, and I know he's obviously core to the people who are familiar with this stuff. I just want to for anyone in the room that's not familiar with what Smuzzies and his team does. So we all have these pictures, right, that everyone is getting attached to, right? They're your NFTs, they're your personalities, they're your whatever. Smuzzies has taken that and taken it to the next level where he has his project, which funded his ability to put together a rig to allow you to bring your NFTs from any collection that can be imported into either a custom scene or a custom AI engine to get it redone or reimagined in a different way, and then have that minted into an NFT dynamically, and then put in your wallet for you to enjoy, share, do whatever. So you see a lot of people flexing on the timelines with their original art and then what it turned into, and then playing with parameters because it's all dynamic and there's a lot of heart and soul that you can see was put into it, and it's all custom made for all these different projects that he works with. So he's a very humble guy, but he is a gem. I think we've seen him start from zero about a year ago to now being what he is with his team. I don't know. I'm super excited for him. It is something novel for the ecosystem, and I've had people specifically reach out to me and just say, damn, that's cool. Whenever they see the combination of what some of our projects are doing overlaid with something like what Smuzzy's doing, which is token gated, right? So giving legit actual NFT value to his collection itself. It comes together really well. It speaks to the Lego block nature of our ecosystem because it is more smaller and tight knit. And I'm excited to see what you guys churn out over the next 6 months, a year, 2 years.
Thanks, boss. Appreciate all that. Sorry, I can't get too much more in depth. I'm actually out. We're doing my birthday party today, so I'm kind of sneaking out when I can.
Happy
to listen.
birthday! Holy
Happy
shit!
birthday!
Happy
Can we get some hearts?
birthday
Are you going to do
to
it?
you.
Hey, let's get some hearts in the chat. That is a great little birthday present. I hope we get to add on, but I hope you get to spend this birthday with your friends and family and celebrate a absolutely incredible year. Congratulations.
Well,
to
I'm
all
on
of
here
you.
with most of my, so I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
Much love, Smuzzies. Can't say anything wrong. Smuzzies is just a whole lot of love. Make sure you're giving that team a follow. Absolutely well-deserved. And our last award of the year is Personality of the Year. Now, we've got a lot of personalities in VeChain. From the breads, the Cigtoshis, the non-fungibles, to the flames. We've got them all. But there was one that came out on top this year. Now, this was also a really close race. And this individual, I think they definitely deserved it. They've been in spaces all the time. They have done a lot to grow this ecosystem. And they actually had one of the biggest Twitter spaces I personally have ever seen. Huge shout out to the man of many names, Leonidas Cigtoshi Nakamoto. Congratulations for Personality of the Year. Anything that you have to say, my man? Well deserved, and congratulations.
Yeah, first of all, Dripshaw, you can take that thumbs down and stick it. Yeah, okay. No, but look, next year, I'm creating a marketplace. I'm going to become an artist. I'm going to create a disruptive idea. I'm coming for the clean sweep next year, baby. Let's go. No, I'm just joking. Look, honestly, so many amazing people in this space. Like, truthfully, I honest to God do mean that. I was able to find my voice because of all the great people in this space. Everyone's welcoming. Go out there, make some friends, meet some people, create some bridges, build some relationships. I expect to see a lot more names on that list of nominees next year. But I appreciate the support. We're going to keep pushing. So much love, everybody.
Can we get some hearts in the chat for Cigtoshi and all of our winners of the 2022 VeFam Awards? Again, huge shout out to V Calendar. Huge shout out to our artists who helped design some of the trophies: Handy Wormhole, Secret Escape, Murtaugh, and Imzu. Really, really excited for these awards go out and excited to see what 2023 brings. But we are right at the end of our space. We are about to finish in under 3 hours, and it's going to go a little over 3 because, of course, we've got to hand it off to VeChain, who helped make all of this happen. I mean, none of us would be here without the awesome blockchain that helps facilitate everything that we're doing. And so, VeChain, you heard some of the winners and some of the top personalities, projects, and people, get some awards here. Is there anything that you have to say as you look back on some of the things that were accomplished in 2022 and what we're getting ready to do in 2023?
Well, thank you for handing me the torch. Yeah, I mean, obviously, well-deserved bunch of awards, and obviously another section of people that didn't get the top-tier recognition, but of course, very much deserving. It's so difficult to pick amongst like raw talent. I guess, look from 2022, you've seen more kind of marketing, more outreach, more community levels from the foundation. Of course, that's something that's only going to accelerate into 2023 alongside the other initiatives that are being run as well. Obviously Antonio, he's leading a fast-growing tech team, building a lot of new stuff. I mean, wallet kind of technicals that are coming in Q1. The bridges from Web 2 to Web 3, very nice kind of simple crossover stuff. I mean, all this stuff will come to light in the next few months. It is really, we keep mentioning Q1. In my head, it just feels like a flurry of stuff that's coming. So very excited for 2023 in general. I think from the foundation perspective, there's a lot to be excited for that I know you guys are going to love. Obviously, as a community member as well, in the Solomon sense, just loving seeing the community level growth. I've always enjoyed being on Reddit, getting stuck into the conversations, and it's just fantastic to see now this kind of self-organized community doing so much good stuff. So, I have the very fortunate position of having a hand in each bucket of water, if that's a saying. I see what's going on the foundation level, but also the community level, and I'm just super excited. I mean, amazing work to all you guys, doing some awesome stuff. VC, Black V, World of V, all doing amazing jobs. So many cool projects, taking advantage of the tools. I just saw what is .vet in the comments as well. I hadn't even seen that as a resource. So, I think something that will put to you guys is, as the foundation, we're here to provide a platform, and myself specifically, that's kind of my role. So, don't be afraid to DM the foundation account. I'll be there to pick up messages, and, we can help create more visibility for your resources as well. Let's put a lot of effort into the stuff you do, and you don't want to let that effort go unrecognized, especially when it's valuable, for us, for you, and for other potential communities. So, collaboration is key. And, from one community member to another, I can give you all a voice as well. We all need each other at the end of the day. So, very optimistic for 2023. Love what's been achieved in 2022, community and foundation level. And I'm buzzing, onwards and upwards. Q1, I can't wait to roll out Q1, honestly. More to come.
Onwards and upwards. VeChain, if you are not bullish after this space, man, I don't know what it's going to take, because I am damn excited. And I know, Flame, you had your hand up. Is there any other thoughts that you have here as we get ready to round out the space?
Yeah, I just wanted to wish Cigtoshi. Cigtoshi, good job, bro.
Oh, Flame. Gosh, I'm so excited for Thursdays. If you couldn't tell, we're going to have just a little bit of fun in 2023. Cigtoshi, don't get comfortable up there, man. People are going to be gunning for you now that they see you up there. I think it's going to be a pretty competitive year. But thank you to everybody that joined today. This was an awesome space. And if you are looking to kick things off in the VeChain community right after this, and you're like, there's got to be something I can do, well, there is. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. UTC, we are having the fifth drop of 25 pieces of Stoner Punk NFTs. So make sure you go check those out if you're interested to get involved in this community. And if you haven't already, there is a new event coming tomorrow. But thank everybody that joined tonight. It was an awesome space. Can we get some hearts in the chat for our two co-hosts, Cigtoshi and Ferg, who did an incredible job this evening and did an incredible job on the last two spaces as well. I'm so excited to continue hosting with them in 2023. And big thank you to all of our speakers that joined as well. I hope you all have an incredible rest of the holiday week, and I hope you all have a great new year. Thank you, VeFam. We'll see you in 2023.